I got to meet Urban Meyer when he did the draft with us on NFL Network. Couldn't have been cooler. Couldn't have been nicer.
Did he try to finger your butt?
He did not.
Okay.
Because we were on television the whole time.
Right.
So
It doesn't stop him, knowing that there's cameras
It was
around.
in Chicago. It was great. Plus, that's probably illegal in parts of Illinois. I don't know.
Putting fingers up butts?
Who knows?
On today's Pardon My Take, the Miami Heat have tied the NBA Finals. Incredible second half from them. Incredible second half from our friend Duncan Robinson. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Stanley Cup Final Game 1. Little darts talk. Little Skip Bayless talk on who's back. We have Rich Eisen on the show. Haven't talked to him in a long time. He is in studio. Great interview with him. And it is all brought to you by our friends at Game Time, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, created by fans for fans. Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. So if you're trying to go, let's say, to a Luke Bryan show or Taylor Swift or Chance the Rapper, Mets, Yankees, Cubs, anything, Game Time has all the best ticket prices out there. I'm going to see Dead & Company, I think at Citi Field. I'll be using Game Time. It's possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds. And once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text, so you can get right into the game seamlessly, skip the hassle, enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app or go to barstool.link/Game Time app. Enter your email, redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Summer is here. It is time for concerts. It is time for baseball. It is time for everything using the Game Time app, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Monday, June 5th, and we have a series. The Denver Nuggets have lost for the first time in these playoffs at home. The Miami Heat have tied it 1-1. And PFT, I'm happy that I told you that you weren't. I talked you out of removing a testicle.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Big Cat. Although I still feel like I'm confident in my Nuggets, but tonight showed me that when the Heat change up their defense, they looked like they may have found something on defense where their strategy was, we're going to let Jokic score as many points as he wants to.
Yeah, just be a scorer.
Let him score a bunch of 2-pointers because 2 points is not as much as 3 points. And so their zone defense was kind of predicated on allowing him to be a scorer, not a passer.
Yeah, he had 4 assists.
And he had 4 assists. Porter stunk shooting the ball.
Yep.
Jamal Murray stunk shooting the ball until the fourth quarter. Everything kind of broke the Heat's way, but you know who is really to blame for this being a series? Taylor Swift.
Oh, I was going to say Jake Marsh.
Jake Marsh, yes.
We're going to get to his hole-in-one, but that was an ominous sign if you're a Nuggets fan.
It's definitely Jake's day today for sure. There was an article on ESPN about the Taylor Swift curse in these NBA playoffs. So every NBA team that made it to the semifinals this year they've had a Taylor Swift Eras Tour stop through their city.
Okay.
And they've all been eliminated. The Denver Nuggets had Taylor Swift perform there. The Miami Heat is the only team that has not had Taylor Swift perform in their city. So if you're a Swiftie, if you're a Swift boater, you know that means that Miami is going to win this championship. Yep.
So you're going to have to get a tattoo and have it removed.
I don't think she's gone to Denver yet. Or you mean just like on the schedule?
It might be on the schedule.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Jake.
Yeah,
really.
I've been studying.
Jake, good call. She is going there July 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, this game, like the Heat, they came out, played great in the first quarter. Like, okay, this is the best effort the Heat have. Then the Nuggets, put up, they were up like double digits for a while, which again, we keep telling ourselves and it keeps shocking us every time. The Heat love to be down double digits in these playoffs and come back. And going into the fourth quarter, Duncan Robinson, 10 straight points, Shout out podcasters everywhere. But yeah, it was basically the Heat. Like the Heat are so good as just a team. The way they move the ball, everyone touches the ball. They had 5 guys in double digits, 4 starters in double digits, and it was they were basically like, Jokic, go ahead, score 41, but you aren't going to be able to find guys for open threes, and we're basically going to let you do everything and not let Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. or KCP, any of these other guys beat us, and it worked. And it is shocking just because I always thought the Heat were going to be a little bit live in this series. I think my official pick was Nuggets in 6, but the fact that the Heat won in Denver, which has not happened in these playoffs yet, and now seemingly have semi-control of this series going back to Miami, I don't know. Ooh.
They stole home court.
It's going to be, man, did you get a little upset watching this game, Hank, being like, man, that could have been the Celtics winning this game?
Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, the Heat are good. They just do not die.
They are good.
They don't miss.
Mm-hmm. They are I know that it's stupid to even say because obviously they're good and they're in the NBA Finals, but you still have to keep reminding yourself because they're the 8th seed and they weren't that good in the regular season, but they are a really fucking good team, and Spo is the best.
Yeah.
He is the best coach.
I liked how they let him play down the stretch, too.
Yeah.
Not a lot of timeouts called.
Yeah. He just was like, let's do it. And, I mean, Duncan Robinson, that was the difference in the game because when he came out in the fourth quarter and put up those 10 points and basically had a run by himself, that was like it went from they were down 5 I think going into the fourth quarter to then being up, and they never gave up the lead again.
Yeah,
Kevin Love plus 18 too.
He had a good showing. Who were they saying?
Who was a DNP in game 1?
Yeah,
and then started tonight.
They said that he was starting so that he could defend Michael Porter Jr. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, and he had 10 rebounds. So Kevin Love, it's just every time the Heat they just have guys like even Max Strus, who was horrible in game 1. 0 for 10 from the field, 0 for 9. He comes out, he hits his first, I think 3 out of his first 4 threes and ends up with 14 points. They just bounce back.
They also got to the line 20 times.
Yep.
They shot 20 foul shots. They made 18 of them. Game 1, they shot 2 foul shots.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. 16-point swing.
6 of them coming from KCP fouls, which were
those
not
were
great.
bad. Yeah.
Can't foul guys shooting threes.
Those are really dumb fouls down there. But credit to the Nuggets, they did bring it back. It looked like they were going to get their doors blown off in the fourth quarter.
They had a shot at the end.
They came back, had a shot at the end. It missed by a matter of inches. And now it goes to Miami. Miami they now have control of the series. It's a must-win for Denver. Game 3's must-win.
Ooh.
It's a can't-lose for Miami.
Ooh, Max, thoughts of the must-win being thrown out there?
There's no must-win.
Yep, it is a must-win. I agree with you, PFT.
It's a can't-lose for Miami, though.
Yeah, it's a can't-lose for Miami. It's a must-win for Denver.
Thank you guys for saying Heat culture was dead on Friday's show.
Yeah, no, we've buried it many times.
I think
Say it again.
Well, Heat culture
I'm not. It's not. It couldn't be more alive right now.
Heat culture was also dead in the first half tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and it felt like watching this game in the first quarter, you're like, that was the best shot the Heat had. And then as soon as the second quarter started, you're like, oh, yep, here's the Nuggets. This is what the rest of the series is going to be. And it just fucking Heat culture, man. They just don't die. They don't go away.
Schrodinger's culture.
Yeah.
They gave up a 40-14 run and still won.
Yeah, so what was crazy was Miami looked awesome right out the gate. They were so good for the first half of the first quarter, if that makes any sense. But then Denver ended up winning that quarter anyways. I think they were up by 7.
No, in the first quarter?
Oh, sorry. Then they came back.
3.
Yeah, they won by 3. So Denver brought it back close, and then the start of the second, it was like all of a sudden Denver was just dominating, and you thought, okay, this game's over. And then the fourth quarter, I don't know, they got used to the altitude. They didn't run out of gas.
It is nuts though, because as an entire organization, think about it. Kevin Love was DNP in game 1. Duncan Robinson last year couldn't get we love Duncan. He's a friend of ours, friend of the show. We're like, is this it for him in Miami when he was not getting on the court in big moments? And all these guys just they stay ready, and then they know that there's going to be a moment where they're going to be needed, and they perform. It's redundant to say, but it is culture because you see it in other teams where it's like a guy has a bad spell, gets put on the bench, isn't able to bounce back. They just feel like the Heat have a bunch of guys who, when they're called upon, will step up. And it might not be every game. It might be every other game. It might be long stretches where they're not playing, and then when they get in, it's like no, they don't miss a beat.
That little stretch that Duncan had where he started to scowl
Yeah.
when he put on the mean mug, you know.
And Gabe Vincent
listen,
did a stare.
Listen, Duncan, I like the mean mug. I thought it was effective. You probably win 100% of the games when there's a Duncan Robinson mean mug that happens on the court. I think he practices it.
Yeah.
I think it's a rehearsed face. You can't get scowled at by a podcaster from Williams College.
Yeah.
Normally we just fire Billy.
Yeah,
if that
we're
were to
just
happen.
like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
You just read that on Reddit. The scary thing for the Nuggets, there's a couple scary things because they obviously lost home court here, but Jimmy Butler wasn't that great. Like he has not asserted himself in this series. He did not have a great shooting night. He had a few turnovers.
He had some himmy shots down
He
the
only had
stretch,
one
though.
turnover. Yeah, no, he did.
That,
But I'm
were
just
big.
saying he wasn't. There's more for Jimmy Butler, and I'm saying co-Eastern Conference MVPs. Caleb Martin was also very bad again. So those back-to-back bad games for Caleb Martin. It does feel like the Heat have some guys that could step up even more, even though you don't expect Duncan Robinson to go on a 10-0 run. That was fucking insane.
That was awesome.
That was so sick. He was just
As a Nuggets fan, I even felt it deep in my soul.
so yeah. No testicle bet, thank God. But
I might have to get a ball tattooed and then a ball
removed.
of
Yeah,
the
Hank,
tattoo.
you missed that on Friday. But yeah, the immediate ball removed.
I got out of pocket a little bit. I just
and you'd
started
never
to
be
roll.
able to talk
keep
about
it,
ball
yeah.
again.
Yeah, I just started to roll. I can't talk about that ball. Jake, you should actually have to get a golf ball tattoo because you got a hole in one.
Yeah,
You know ball.
I'll pass.
tailor-made.
You can have mine.
Your tattoo?
Yeah.
If I get a hole in one, I'm getting it tattooed for sure.
Yeah, shout out TaylorMade.
Yeah.
And Roback and Coors Light.
Oh, great. Yeah, shout them all out. Fuck yeah.
I had all of them integrated.
What about for
You're like a
him?
NASCAR driver out there. I love it.
For him, should definitely do a sponsorship after like every game. The Hims player of the game.
Yeah.
Just the guy that looked the horniest out there.
Or for him's just being like, instead of even needing for him's, just hit a hole in one. You'll get hard all week.
Yep. Did you get a little blood rush?
A little bit. With the boys?
Yeah.
The boys are patting you on the
Yeah,
ass,
yeah.
giving you a little,
Yeah.
giving you a little smooch.
Listen,
something.
you see a ball go in a hole. You
It's
know?
okay.
Things start happening in a guy's brain.
It's okay. All right, so we have a series. I'm excited because when you get to the NBA Finals, you just don't want it to end super early. You don't want it to end in 4 or 5. It still obviously could end in 5, but it feels like this could be a 2-2 going back to Denver, which there's nothing better than when you get the 2-2 game 5. And so,
Pivotal.
Yeah.
I love using that term.
yeah, and now we get into the weird stretch of the NBA schedule where they're just like, let's put a game on every day of the week.
We also are going to be inundated with stats about like the winner of Game 3 in a series when it's tied 1-1.
I'll eat them up.
What's that percentage? I don't know what it is, but I'm going to recite that verbatim probably 5 times on the next show.
Oh, I will let that distort all my thinking. Kyle Lowry just finished with the post game. He's got the longest shorts ever. Respect. I like that.
Did you see the very important thread from our good friend Robert Griffin III?
No.
He put this out, I believe, on Friday. If the Denver Nuggets players each had a dipping sauce, what best describes them?
Oh, man.
I'll start. He helpfully volunteered to start.
Oh, thank God.
Nikola Jokic's barbecue sauce
Okay.
because he fits in any system. And then Jamal Murray is ranch. The sauce isn't quite loved by everybody, but it heightens the flavors of the food it's dipped in, making everybody better around it. Many believe this sauce deserves more love. Are there like ranch haters out there?
I mean, there's a blue cheese ranch divide. I've
Yeah.
always thought that was like, it's a personal preference with wings. I'm a blue cheese guy, but I like ranch for other things.
Yeah, I like both of them.
I think it's more there's ranch fanatics who like put it on their pizza and shit.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon is ketchup. I think he just ran out of sauces, so he was like, yeah, I'll just give him ketchup.
This is a dud of a thread.
Michael Porter Jr.
Like, I'll just be honest.
Michael Porter Jr.
It's even worse hearing it.
was Chick-fil-A sauce.
Okay.
Because he's a mix. Basically, every player is a mix of different sauces except for Aaron Gordon, who's just straight up ketchup.
At what point is RG3 just going to start doing the threads of, like the hot threads now are just being like, presidents reimagined AI as baseball coaches.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, what if every college mascot was fat and in AI?
My favorite ones are when they just put like a logo of a team, be like, who's the first player you think about when you see this logo?
Yeah, those always slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, RG3. That was What was it? Chick-fil-A sauce for Michael Porter Jr.?
Chick-fil-A sauce was for Michael Porter Jr. If you're interested, Caldwell Pope was sweet and sour sauce.
Oh, nice.
And then Bruce Brown was honey mustard.
Ooh.
So spicy thread from RG3.
Yeah.
Who's Barbacuffalo?
Did he get a lot of engagement off that?
Not as much as you'd think.
Well, probably more than I think, 'cause I think 0.
Well, so he probably kept refreshing that thread, and he's like, I think Twitter's down again. No one's responding to my sauce thread.
Oh, it's got to be tough. They just showed it to be the Joker guy and in a loss.
Have to go home sad in a Joker outfit.
It actually is how the Joker is created.
Yeah.
That they should, if they ever make another Joker, it should be a guy at a Nuggets game watching the Nuggets lose, maybe like a really controversial foul, and then he goes home and he decides to just be the Joker.
Completely Joker-fied. Christian Brown should be Mayo. That was a big miss by RG3, not including
was.
that one on there.
Yeah. Okay, we got more show. We'll do a quick ad, and then we got more show. Hole-in-one, darts, everything. Rich Eisen. Let's kick it to an ad. This episode of Pardon My Take is brought to you by Rocket Money. We all know that catchy saying, try it for free for 14 days. Just enough time to try it and then completely forget about it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. I need this because I am the quintessential sign up and then start getting billed every week. So over 80% of people have subscriptions they forget about, and chances are you're one of them, like that television app just to watch one show or that free gaming trial you never actually used. Rocket Money will quickly and easily find your subscriptions for you, and for any you don't want to pay for anymore, just hit cancel and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's that easy. Rocket Money also helps you manage all your finances in one place and automatically categorize your expenses so you can easily track your budget in real time and also get alerted if anything looks off. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. I would imagine I have more than that in subscriptions I absolutely never use. So I'm going to sign up for Rocket Money. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/take. That's rocketmoney.com/take. rocketmoney.com/take. Do it right now. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/take. Okay, game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Vegas Knights are on the board. I watched this whole game, and a couple things. One, it did feel like Florida maybe had a little too much rest. So sucks for them that they were so good in the Eastern Conference Final. 2, it feels like, and Whitney told us this, Vegas having these huge defenders. Florida is like a team that as a team feels like they just want to get in fights and bother you. And Vegas is the most disciplined big team that it might not work for them. It might not work. It's obviously game 1, but it might not work against a team like Vegas who's like, no, fuck this. We'll play hockey. We're not going to try to get in a fight.
Vegas also had a goalie standing on his head. Aiden Hill, that save.
Well, they both had goalies standing on their head going into this.
Yeah, but that one save that he had was incredible. It always feels like there's one big statement save that happens in the Stanley Cup Finals where that team goes on to win, because it sucks all the way. They had a wide open net and made one of the best saves I've ever seen on the goal line. It was dominant after that for the Knights. I like the Knights. They're fun to watch.
They are, and they had the pregame, which was crazy. The lights and everything, and the Knight fighting a Florida Panther army and everything.
The pregame was fun. If you're a real hockey guy, I have to imagine the purists out there are like, this last 2 minutes too long.
No, there's a dude who's sitting in Manitoba being like, just drop the fucking puck.
Drop the puck. I don't care about Cirque du Soleil.
Right.
I do care about Cirque du I love the theatrics.
It was. I think also it's not as cool as it was the first time when they were new and it was, they were in the final against the Caps and it was like, oh my God, what is this? Now we all expected it. Also, they are the favorite in this, so it's not as, you know what I mean? They're set. They're expected to win this Stanley Cup. But my biggest takeaway was it might not work for the Panthers to do what they've done to get here against a team like Vegas that just plays hockey and plays discipline and has, as Whitney said, huge D.
Big D. Big girthy D.
Yeah.
He
He didn't like that joke.
No, he did not. That's probably because right before that, I think I just asked him, what was it like to lose the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
That was a little bit aggressive.
But that was
on
a
my part.
curveball because
But
usually it's like, what was it like to watch your friends win the Stanley Cup?
I've actually never heard a player talk about what it's like to lose the Stanley Cup before.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice, the head coach
Yeah.
of the Panthers, after the game, he said the key is they have to breathe.
Yeah.
So they're going to breathe. Look for the Panthers to be sucking in more air. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, exhale, get the blood going.
Well, and they also had, Chuck has been the like heartbeat of the team, and Whitney mentioned him as well. He had not a great game. He had, I think, a 10-minute misconduct to end the game, but he also had a turnover for the game winner to make it 3-2. So, yeah, they got to breathe.
They got to breathe. They just got to breathe. I would like to see this go 7. I want to see an exciting Stanley Cup final to make up for what they've done for the most part in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which has been boring.
Breathe and play hockey. That would be my 2 tips to the Panthers. Don't worry about fighting. Don't worry about, trying to get in their head. Just play hockey.
I'm going to breathe. I'm going to remind myself to breathe more when I watch this game.
It's important.
Really suck it all in.
It's important to breathe. So, Jake, your P's.
The P's. Go P's.
Down 0-1, but you hit a hole in one.
Yeah.
So we have to mention that.
Crazy.
You hit a hole in one today.
That's it. Be the right club. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. 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 Oh my God. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did it go in? It went in. That's it? That went in, right? Holy fucking. That's it. Shit.
First one on this podcast. Well, I've hit 4, but none of them are on video, so those don't really count.
Right.
I've got several in PGA 2K.
Yeah. Pixel golf, I've actually hit probably like 4 or 5.
So you guys have had hole in one?
Yeah.
No.
Now-
This was like, I want you to talk us through it because it is, for anyone who's like, oh, it's just a hole in one. It's up there for things that, like, you ask a guy who golfs, like, have you ever hit a hole in one? And most are like, no, I have not. I've played a ton of rounds. I've never hit one.
It's like the best thing that a man can do.
Yeah.
Is get a hole in one.
Yeah.
So congrats.
Yeah.
You were
Thank
officially
you
a man.
guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. My bar mitzvah does not count as turning me into a man.
This is it.
This is it.
You're a man now.
Yeah.
So talk us through it. Were you just floating the rest of the day?
Yeah. I had the worst back 9 in
Yeah, you
recent
shouldn't
memory.
have posted your card with the 8s.
It's real.
I know.
Jay,
I would have
yeah.
I know
cleaned
you
that
are.
up a little.
Jake can't lie.
I can't lie.
impossible.
It was an awful round, and then I had the shot, and then afterwards I was horrific, but that does not matter.
No
I've
one's
never-
going to remember, yeah.
Yeah. I just can't, I still can't believe it. It's all I've been thinking about.
It was incredible.
You have to buy us a round of waters.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go get them.
You have to buy, right? That's the rule.
Yeah.
Did you buy after?
I bought rounds after.
Okay.
And it was on the 8th hole, so at the halfway house, I got 8 Coors Lights. 2 for the 4 of us. 2
Nice.
for each of us.
Now, did you win?
No,
You're-
I was awful.
Yeah, but the
No.
hole in one.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Jake and I were talking earlier about if you're a PGA Tour golfer and you get a hole in one during a tournament, that might actually fuck you up mentally for the rest of your round. Like
It screwed up.
The
It screwed
highest
me
of
up.
the high.
Yeah.
It was worse for my score.
But it still was
Long
a hole
term,
in one.
yeah.
That's
Now-
why I don't hit them.
Now, you play a lot of golf. Hank, you also play a lot of golf. Have you ever gotten one?
I've not.
Have you gotten this?
Oh,
Hank?
interesting.
I'm very happy for Jake. I don't know why people were trying to turn
Yeah,
this
I
into
don't like
a,
that.
a
I
me versus
immediately
Jake
did.
thing.
Yeah,
but,
immediately.
No, I mean Jake is my father. He wins everything. He got a hole in one. I was happy for him. It's a long hole in one too. I was curious what the distance was. Sometimes not that it matters. Hole in one's a hole in one, but it was a long earned hole in one.
187, which is a long par
What'd you
3.
hit?
I would have hit
5
driver.
iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 iron.
Taking a little off it.
It's crazy. Front pin had some wind with me, so
You'll always remember it.
I'll always remember it. And I
Why
have it
don't
on
you
video,
should go
which is
where?
crazy.
What course was this?
This is Harbor Links on Long Island, Port Washington.
We should go out and put a plaque up there.
I
Why
got
not?
a certificate.
Yeah, but we should put a plaque. We should put a plaque on a tree right there, just being like
There's no
Jake
trees on
Marsh.
the hole.
Jake Marsh, first hole in one ever. Hank has never gotten it.
Jake's big hole.
I can talk to some people.
Okay. Well, we
Yeah.
could just go out there and just do it. We've done it before with Larry.
Jake,
Yeah, it's
are
true.
you like a little bit worried that your golf career has peaked though?
It might have, but I'll always have this.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
at
feel
least
like
you had a
it's-
peak.
I feel like it's once you get one, the second one's gonna come quick.
Floodgates open.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I heard they come in bunches.
I also liked because Jake's been filming his rounds and posting them on social, but he wasn't even filming this round. He just happened to film the par 3.
Yeah, so I was going out with my friends. Usually I film the rounds when I go up by myself and I'm with randoms because I shoot and edit it for content.
You
sake.
videotape random people.
No, I only
Got
film
it.
myself.
For your own personal files.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to film it. I'll just enjoy it. Because, like, you have to worry about the angles and all that. So it's more relaxing just to play. And they're like, at least do the par 3s. You never know. I'm like, okay.
Fuck.
It's so awesome that you got it on film.
Yeah.
Because people would definitely not believe you if you. Although I would personally believe you.
Right.
I'd say most people would not believe you if you just
And
said,
especially
yeah, I got
because,
a hole in one.
like Hank
Although
said,
of everyone on this podcast, I think people would believe Jake.
Of course they would. It was
Yeah.
funny because
Jake wouldn't lie.
We started a lot of congratulations in the group text when we saw the video come out, and then Billy's initial reaction was like, "Can you see the ball though on the video?"
Yeah.
So Billy was actually the one that's
Oh,
like,
of course he was.
I don't think that this is true.
You can't handle
now more
everyone else
skeptical.
being happy about someone else's.
No, I'm actually
accomplishment.
very happy for Jake.
Billy's very woke on it.
Just a little skeptical, like you only filmed that one.
I was at the playground with my kids, and I was like, I thought maybe you were calling the game on ABC today, and I forgot. So I was like, fuck, I really fucked this up.
no,
but
it's all right.
it's good to know there was a hole in one.
I think
Yeah.
Very happy for you.
guys are probably
Thank
more
you.
likely to reach out to their friends and be like, congratulations, when they get a hole in one than they are if you find out that you're going to have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool moment.
It
You were
is a blur.
it was trending. Thanks or congrats to Jake. Yeah. Pretty
Crazy.
fucking cool.
Very cool.
Very,
Yeah.
very cool.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Do you want to talk about darts real quick, PFT? You went to darts. It looked awesome.
We can do a dart recap.
Yeah.
It was. I'm a real needlehead
Max,
now.
you can also recap.
Yeah, Max, where were you? Were you at darts?
I didn't go.
Oh, why not? You went to the beach. That's right.
I went to the beach. Beach
yeah,
was
you went to
great.
the
Beach was
yeah.
awesome.
So not a darts fan.
Wasn't it
Everyone was asking about Max. It was crazy. I went up to the bartender and he was like, I heard that Max isn't coming to darts this year. Is that true?
Damn.
And I was like, unfortunately it is. Because I kept looking over my shoulder to see if maybe this was a big bit and that Max would show up as the dart father. But you're the absentee. You're a deadbeat dart father.
Yeah.
You stepped up.
I did step
were-
up. I'm a dart father that stepped up.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. If anybody has the opportunity to go see darts, I highly recommend it. Now you have to be very drunk to enjoy it.
Well, that was so I had a ticket and I was thinking about joining, and then so I was with my kids all day, and then around 7:00 when they went down to bed, I looked at I just scrolled through Twitter, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be the only sober person showing up to the greatest party ever.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'll just live with the FOMO and realize that was so much fun.
That's probably a good choice though. You don't want to go to darts sober.
Well, you're right, and just showing up and being like, you guys have been having the best time of your life. What if you kill the vibe?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to kill the vibe.
Everybody
Vibe
was
looked
partying.
awesome.
It was like a big costume party too. Everyone gets dressed up. There were fights in the stands at
Yeah.
darts. We saw a bunch of guys dressed up as professional wrestlers. A lot of people dressed as traffic cones for some reason.
I love it.
That might be a dart thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm in love with darts now. It took me 2 games to figure out exactly what was going on. And then Michael Van Gerwen is just a fucking hoss.
Yeah.
He is a machine. He's like, is he the bad boy of darts?
And he's just the best, right?
He's the best, and he's also the bad boy. He's like an ultimate
He's got
wrestling
just a
heel.
great darts look because they are professional athletes technically,
Yeah.
and he's not.
To be a professional
He doesn't look like one.
where are they? Dartists? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be a professional dartist, you have to either have a lumpy body or have a shaved head.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps if you have both. He went up against this guy named Jeff in the final. I don't know who Jeff was. He's a nobody from Canada. He was just like this nice Canadian guy that caught fire. Nobody thought that he could win. He was a plus $10,000 underdog. I saw those odds and I sprinkled on him on the plus 10,000. And I also bet on Van Gerwen, so I was just happy for the darts. I was just rooting for good darts.
Yeah.
At the end, it was so fun. The crowd was absolutely buckled. Everybody was hammered. There were people that were across the aisle that were just openly doing cocaine in the stadium.
Jesus Christ.
It was a scene. It was crazy. But I'm a dart fanatic. What can I say? I gotta go back.
Darts is the one sport where I hope they never have a revolution of when Tiger showed up on PGA and everyone started working out. And even you can go to baseball when Babe Ruth was just hitting homers and getting in the jiggly fat machine.
Mm-hmm.
Darts, if we ever start seeing dartists with 6-packs and being well, actually the stamina, it's better that I've been training 365. Let's hope that darts never gets to that point.
Yeah, basically, I think the best dart players are probably just the ones that jack off the most. They've got great elbows.
But it is funny too because I'm sure being in shape just makes you better at everything. but I hope not for darts.
I think there's probably some aspect to darts. I was thinking about this because you watch like shooting in the Olympics, and those people are all in fantastic shape, probably because they're on skis a lot too. But they control their heartbeats with their breathing, and then so they shoot in between heartbeats. I bet there will be somebody like a fitness revolution that comes through darts. That's like, we got to get you training, get you on the Stairmaster.
Someone who's listening to the Huberman podcast.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden he becomes the best dartist.
Yeah, I do cold plunge for 9 hours every morning. That's all. My entire day is actually in a cold plunge, and it makes me way, way better at darts.
I mean, it makes sense as someone who carries around 30 to 40 extra pounds. It does make you mentally slower.
Yeah, it was just a blast. I can't wait to go again. I don't know if Max is going to be back invited next year. There was somebody in the crowd showed up on the Jumbotron holding a sign that said, "Where is Philly Mays?" And Max got so owned by that. The whole crowd went nuts. And Max was convinced that he was a plant, that I had him write that on a piece of paper.
I still think that was your doing.
It was not. It was across the room. He was very far away from me. That was just organic, Max. The whole crowd was talking about you.
What were you going to say, Billy?
You may have said this, but I was looking up what they call a professional dart player. But were the dart players drinking during the game?
No, they were drinking waters.
Oh.
Could have been vodka.
Probably waters.
Beta blockers and alcohol are banned in the Olympics for shooting, for like steadying the hand reasons.
Yeah, you're a beta blocker. That's how alpha you are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
big time.
I would. I agree with you, Big Cat. I don't want to live in an era with jacked up darts.
Yeah, like I could just see it because that's just how every sport has gone. Where you have like an Instagram, like some guy who's a professional dart player who has like 3 million Instagram followers and is doing like all kinds of weird workouts.
Yeah,
and like that would bum me out. I want the dart guys to look like I want the professional dartists to be guys that could hustle anyone at any bar in America at any point.
Yep.
Where they just show up and you're like, oh, this guy? No way.
Yep. I also want their uniforms to get like less comfortable.
Yeah.
Because right now they wear kind of like professional bowler shirts.
Yeah.
Is what they wear. I don't want to see like snug fitting jerseys. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see a guy like roll up with Jinkos next time.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. There was a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of pressure to step in Max's position because I am new to the sport and I knew that we had to get the party going. So I had to think of a speech before the dart walk, and I didn't have anything prepared at all. We got outside with about 15 minutes before darts, and we were walking across the street, and I turned around, and the only thing I could think of was just to get people chanting darts.
Yeah, works.
And so I just said, like, give me darts one time, and everybody goes, darts. Give me darts 2 times. Darts, darts. We did all the way up to 4, then we started marching across the street. Everybody was amped up. People on the street were giving us high fives. They're like, I don't know what this is, but it seems like a blast.
It's darts.
It's darts, baby. It's darts season. It was fantastic.
I did, watching the clips online, it was just like, it was basically like a bunch of drunk guys that had to keep reminding themselves what they were doing today.
Yeah.
like we're here for darts. Like
Yep.
every like 20 minutes a new video would pop up of everyone chanting darts, like just as a, hey, wait, why are we at this bar? It like blackout drunk at 4:00. Oh yeah, darts.
There were a shitload of people wearing t-shirts that just literally said darts on them.
I love it.
Give me
It
them
looks so
darts.
much fun.
It was fun.
I'm gonna try to do it sometime.
I was at the end of it, I was so amped up that I was like, I'm gonna start watching darts on TV. That's definitely a lie. But when I'm in a town that has a darts event at it, I am going to go to that darts event.
Yes, and we should start playing darts more. In the new office, we should definitely start playing darts.
One overseas, like a championship or whatever, that's in like Ireland or Britain would be
Maybe for a grit week.
biblical.
Darts. Okay, let's get to who's back of the week. Then we have Rich Eisen. It is brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Sometimes the days can get so crazy you forget to make time for fun. When that happens, you've got to choose to chill. So go ahead, say yes to midweek happy hours and catching the game after work. And while you're at it, enjoy an ice-cold Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know it's time to chill. When you're making time to chill, crack open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. I've had tweeted at me some of the bluest mountains I've ever seen in my entire life. I think they're all no filter. I think the mountains are just extra blue this summer.
They are.
So, tweet us your mountains when they get blue. There's nothing better than a Coors Light, the coldest beer out there, the most delicious beer out there. When you choose to chill, pair your plans with an ice-cold Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Check them out. It is summertime. It's Coors Light season. It is mountains being blue around the clock. So go drink an ice cold Coors Light and tell them PMT sent you.
Yeah, at darts, I went up to the bartender right before the dart walk, and I wanted to get the party going. So I said, I'd like to buy every Coors Light. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, every Coors Light that you have. So he brought out a giant case of it. The mountains, absolutely bluer than they were last year.
Love it. Love it. So, yeah, it's a great season for the mountains. Probably they'll be talking about it like wine. 2023 mountains, there was something about them.
It hit different.
There was something about that crop. Okay, Hank, who's back of the week?
My who's back of the week is Skip Bayless.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's back on the market. There's a lot of rumors, seem pretty confirmed that him and Shannon are breaking up. Shannon's getting bought out after the NBA Finals end. A lot of, little petty. He's liking tweets saying Skip's a piece of shit and that Shannon's way better and Skip's never going to be able to find another co-host. A lot of bad press coming out about Skip, wondering if he's even going to find a co-host. I feel like this is what happened when him and Stephen A broke up, and then he was fine with Shannon. I feel like they're going to find someone. It's not going to be that big a deal.
Yeah.
So they're going to find someone, but I think it might be the worst job in America.
To debate Skip Bayless every day?
So, there's been a lot of reports, and just to set the stage, you have to you're in LA, you have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. I don't think Skip Bayless sleeps. We know he doesn't sleep in the same bed as his wife on the weekdays. And it essentially has been floated out there that Skip is going to decide who it is, and they have to be a Skip punching bag. Skip's not going to pick someone who can go toe-to-toe with him. Skip's going to pick someone that he can knock out in the 5th round every single day. It comes with, celebrity and money, but I really do think it might be the worst job in America.
I think there will be people that are going to be lining up for it.
Of course.
Maybe no huge, massive names. I'll throw out a name. LeBron.
Ooh.
Just get LeBron on there and have Skip debate LeBron about LeBron James every single day.
That'd be great.
I would fucking watch that show all the time.
It just wouldn't you even some of the people you can think of that could go toe to toe with Skip. Why would they take that job if Skip is you have to come in here and let me just ragdoll you?
Yeah, the waking up would be the big problem for me. I'm officially taking my name out of the hat.
I am as well.
Because of the early wake up time. I actually don't think that there's a single job in the world that I would do if it meant that I had to wake up at 3:30 in the morning every day.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Can't do it. Can't do it. But Shannon,
although your days would be so open.
They would be, but then you just fall asleep.
I know.
Shannon is probably going to have some offers either to do his own thing or ESPN. I think Shannon Sharp is actually very underrated as a co-host for Skip Bayless. I think that when he first started, he was just basically screaming at Skip, which is actually a great way to get the show going. But I think that he's probably going to have his pick of some pretty good jobs. People are going to throw a shitload of money at him. I'm just saying beware. He might try to grab you from behind and pinch your elbow if you have long hair.
That's true.
He can't work with somebody with long hair. He'll get too horny.
That's true. Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be absolutely fine. I wouldn't want to. He obviously will have a co-host because someone will be it's basically you can fix him. I can make Skip think that LeBron is good. No.
Oh, I can make Skip think that Tim Tebow is bad.
Someone is gonna take that job, being no. I'll just bring salient points to the debate table every day.
No, if you
does not matter.
If you just look at it under the pretense of the job description is, you're going to have to try to talk sense into somebody who absolutely thinks that Tim Tebow could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback and that LeBron James is one of the most overrated players in NBA history.
Yes.
You would think that you were signing up to sit in a room with an insane person.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It really
And he definitely is insane.
And nothing you say will change his mind ever.
I would like to see him maybe just debate his wife.
Yeah.
Just have them just argue about just household. I would actually watch Skip debate anything.
You're basically signing up to be a reply guy on Twitter that can be muted or blocked at any moment live on television. Yeah. Okay, good. Who's back?
My other who's back this week is The Office. Amazon is coming out with an Australian reboot of The Office.
Oh.
Okay.
So I think it will be, might not be that big in the U.S. It's just an Australian thing, but we'll see. Now the time will tell of, The Office in current day.
Okay.
I like listening to Australian people talk about anything.
Right. Yeah. Okay, but we'll probably miss some of the jokes.
Yeah.
So it's
A lot of 'em.
Is it a reboot or like brand new episodes? Or are they doing like cover episodes like The Office did of the English version of The Office?
I think it's like the cover episodes.
Are they doing it? Are they doing it for Australia or are they doing it for America with Australian accents?
I believe they're doing it for Australia.
Okay, yeah. So that's gonna be tough to follow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the plot lines, how they would translate into being in Australia, not
Yeah.
in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I don't know. I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, why not?
There's definitely a Scranton equivalent in Australia.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying there will be inside jokes that we will not get about Australian culture.
Also,
Which why would we?
female Michael Scott.
Oh, I'm for it.
Yeah. It might even be better.
Well, no. Does that mean the female Michael Scott's going to wear male suits?
I don't know.
Or, yeah, is it misogynistic to have a female boss, but she sucks at her job?
Oh, good point.
I
Yeah,
won't be watching for that reason.
It's problematic. I'm going to say
Yep.
right now because girl bosses exist and they're great at their jobs. So
It should,
fuck that.
Yeah, they should redo it and have her be completely competent. I think
Yes.
that would be a great show.
Exceedingly competent. There's just one episode. The paper gets made. Fast.
As long as you think they're going to do Scott's Tots,
I don't know.
like a school of Aborigine children.
That would be funny. Yeah. Okay, so we're in. But kind of.
Kind of. Depending on how powerful they make the woman.
Yes. All right, PFT, your who's back?
My who's back of the week is soccer.
Ooh.
Saudi Arabian soccer. The Saudi government has decided to inject $20 billion in order to develop the top Saudi clubs and give credibility to their league. And they started the spending spree off by getting Benzema.
Ooh.
So
Ronaldo plays there,
from
right?
Real Madrid. Yeah, Ronaldo plays there. Allegedly, Benzema's contract is for 3 years, $643 million.
Tough to pass up.
Now, I saw reports earlier that it was going to be a 2-year deal that was worth about $400 million. But now I guess they tacked on that extra year.
That's going to be
they gave him the
a
supermax.
nightmare for the salary cap.
So basically, they're just completely cucking the MLS's model, which is just pay aging superstars
Yeah.
a fuckload of money to come finish out their career over here. We can't compete with that.
Although, did you see there's a rumor that Messi might go to Miami?
Yeah, because
be sick.
he's got ownership down there.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Yeah, so this is that's $643 million for a 3-year
Tax-free?
deal. Tax-free, no state income tax down there.
Yeah, no, we always forget.
Yeah.
When we list Texas and Tennessee and Florida, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia too. My other who's back of the week is breasts.
Oh.
Speaking of Stephen A. Smith,
Put it
Skip
on the
Bayless,
list.
that whole thing. Breasts are back. Stephen A. Smith has now dragged, I think, 5 days of content out of debating whether or not he likes breasts enough to drink breast milk. And
Orlovsky said that he drinks it.
of course he does.
Yep.
Yeah. So Josh Hart tweeted out that he tried his wife's breast milk when she was pregnant. And then Stephen A. Smith was like, what is that? He goes, I like breasts. You don't have to be a baby to like breasts. Matter of fact, one could easily argue that there are adults who like breasts more than babies. I would agree with him on that.
I would also agree.
I don't think that babies really like breasts nearly as much as most adults.
Well, like newborns, the breasts keep them alive.
Yeah, but sometimes they have trouble latching on.
Yeah.
I've never met a dude that's had a problem latching on.
Well, it is Pride Month.
It is.
So.
But males have breasts too.
Yeah, I know. But you think they latch it on?
Yeah.
Well, let's ask Joey.
That's Joey and
People forget that Hank has drank breast milk.
Yep.
His aunts.
And cereal.
Yeah, in cereal. Was it delicious?
No, it was
You
gross.
finished the whole bowl, right?
It was, yeah. And then I was like, I think there's some rotten milk in the fridge. And they're like, oh, no.
The fact that you finished the whole bowl is the best part.
I was like 12 years old, for the record.
Yeah, but you should have known better then. You're only like 11 years out of drinking breast milk.
Yeah, it was. We were on a family trip. It wasn't a fridge I was familiar with. I was just trying to get some milk for my cereal.
I love the idea of Hank being perplexed by a new fridge.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was just like the milk was in a different bottle, but I was like, oh, this is just vacation milk.
Vacation milk, breast milk. All right, I got a few who's backs. The first one is Joe Mazulla. Joe Mazzulla's back. Did not get fired by the Celtics. Do we have comment from our Celtics fans?
I do.
We just signed Sam Cassell to the roster.
Missoula's like, he got a lot of flack during the playoffs, but people do forget that he came back down 0-3, and he was down in the Sixers. He had to win those last 2 games to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm pretty confident
as
I'm
a
pretty
Celtics
confident
fan
in him coming back.
As a Celtics fan, Max, you know that Like that Sixers team was probably the best team in the NBA.
Sixers team was really good.
It was the best team in the NBA.
It took
and
a
so
really, really good coaching.
yeah, so for Mazulla to fight as hard as he did against those Sixers, that's like, yeah, you got to extend that guy. That guy's Boston tough.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy for my C's. Ready for the next year. Let's go green.
Hank was, I think, at one point looking for if there's a mute button of Max. Hank, thoughts on Max's thoughts?
I mean, he's just a sad human being. Like, I don't get over it. I don't understand this. I don't.
I told him before, I was like, I'm going to bring up Mazulla. Make sure you have something to chime in on.
We got Sam Cassell, Sixers coaching legend. So
yeah. And then related to my who's back, that who's back is Mark Zuckerberg, because similar to Joe Mazulla, he likes to practice some jiu-jitsu. And there was a report that he got choked out during a competition, and then there was an update on the report that said from Joe Bernstein, who I guess wrote it maybe in the New York Times. Yeah, he said, "Update: after publishing our story, I heard from both Mark Zuckerberg and his Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach. They both insisted that Mr. Zuckerberg had not lost consciousness, and the coach said that the referee had mistaken his effortful grunting for snores."
Okay.
So just so we're clear, Zuckerberg was not, at no point was he choked out.
He was, so everything that I've read on Facebook, all those posts are actually misinformation about Zuckerberg getting choked out.
Dude,
That's how many people would sign up for jiu-jitsu if they knew that there was a chance that they would get to choke Mark Zuckerberg out, though.
But Zuckerberg, how do you not have a PR guy that'd be like, okay, we got a crisis. There's a report that you got choked out. The last thing you want to do is have an update to the report being like, just so we're clear, we talked to multiple people, he was never choked out. Because now I'm like, dude, the guy got choked out. You don't have to update saying I wasn't choked out unless you were very clearly choked out.
If you get submitted by like a rear naked choke, you got choked out.
Yeah.
You absolutely got choked out.
And his grunting was, they thought his grunting were snores.
Yeah, his grunting was actually he was just concentrating he was breathing.
He
was breathing like the peas.
Brutal thing to have to be like, hey, listen, it's the same as, Danny Boy Kane getting attacked by a bear, or the guy who didn't fuck his cat.
Did not come on his cat.
He was nowhere near his cat with cum. Billy.
Better PR spin. Why didn't you just say Zuckerberg didn't tap?
Yeah, that's it.
Like that
yeah,
would have
right.
been way
Didn't
more
tap.
badass. Like
Yeah.
he refused to tap.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Like I
Till he
would
passed
I would
out.
respect somebody more who just decided to go down with a ship and get choked out.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't tap.
At no point was Mark Zuckerberg choked out.
Nope.
Not one iota. And then my last who's back is Golden Mug coming back Tuesday for Stella Blue. We got something for Father's Day. So maybe our best gift yet. So get excited on Tuesday. If you buy anything in the Stella Blue coffee store, you are automatically entered to potentially get a golden mug. I'm like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's my favorite thing to do. Just hand out golden mugs. So get excited for that. And if you're planning on buying today, wait till tomorrow and buy some tomorrow. Or buy both days. Billy.
Really quickly to PFT's who's back. Just if you have spare time, Google bodybuilding forum, breast milk, best supplement ever. It's one of the funniest threads in there since like the how many days are in the week one.
That was an all-timer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My other who's back is Chiefsaholic. It was.
Oh, you sent it to us.
Yes.
Nice.
It was misreported that Chiefsaholic was put on the FBI's most wanted list.
Who misreported that?
Not me.
Got
But
it.
it was misreported earlier in the weekend. He was only put on the Kansas City Crime Stoppers list. He's number 5. But yeah, he's been put on there.
Wait, the Crime Stoppers.
how
list.
close is he to the America?
But that's also confusing. That would make him the number 1 Crime Stopper.
No, like the Crime Stoppers top 10
Right.
most
But
wanted
as a-
list.
they got to rebrand
It
that.
does make it seem
Yeah.
like he's a superhero.
Yeah, like Chiefsaholic. He will
some.
stop any crime. He's
Except
number
for
1.
Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah.
But good for him. He's not been caught yet.
Yeah.
Like think about it.
It is kind of crazy. He's number 5 in Kansas City, which that's a little bit disrespectful to him. Either that or Kansas City's doing a great job in terms of having like big criminals live in their town and not find them. But I would think that he would be number 1, right? He's a bank robber who's on the run from being charged with federal crimes.
I got a question.
There's some pretty bad dudes.
Allegedly.
I got a question. Has he been heard from?
No.
Because this is, I hope I'm never in this spot where I'm on the lam trying to run for my life, number 1 on the Crime Stopper list. But if I am, I would like everyone here to make a pact with me that one of you, I'll kill myself and you hide my body. That way I live forever.
Okay.
Because like
Yeah,
Chiefs
they
Hall
don't
could
know.
be dead. And you basically wouldn't know if he did a good enough job of hiding his own body. Like you basically are a myth for the next 40, 50 years.
Yeah, you live out your life, and everyone assumes you're on a beach in Mexico, like at the end of Shawshank.
Right.
It's like he got it. He got away.
Right, until like you're like, 100 years old. They're like, he's probably dead. But up until that point, everyone's like, Chiefsaholic could be back at any moment.
People start seeing you in the background of pictures
Yes.
that you're not in. It's like,
Okay,
that guy
so-
looks a lot like Big Cat.
I'll do the same for anyone here.
Okay.
So if you're on the run and it's like, you got to run for the rest of your life, you just let me know where you want me to hide your body.
We're really going to find out how committed he is to the Chiefs when football season rolls around.
Right.
Like, is he going to be able to stay away from Arrowhead, or is he going to go in a different costume? You know what he should do? He should just become like a Raiders super fan.
Yeah.
And nobody will ever think that it's Chiefsaholic. Like, get dressed up in like the Darth Vader outfit.
Or the super fan of every team the Chiefs are playing.
Yeah.
Just keep rotating.
Rotating basis.
Yeah.
And it's like the perfect crime.
Yeah.
That's not Chiefsaholic. He doesn't even like the Chiefs.
He gets to watch all of the games.
He would probably actually rather kill himself than do that, though.
Yeah.
That's his level of dedication.
It's pretty nuts. He has about $250,000 in gambling winnings from the Chiefs Super Bowl win, and he's probably in Mexico.
But how did he get that once he was...
I think he was able to cash out legally while he was being, in court because he wasn't guilty yet.
But he probably can't use his credit or debit cards, right? He has to have cash on him.
I'm not sure.
So he's
but-
they're basically forcing him to rob more banks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But in my other Who's Back is the 2008 Florida team. Mm-hmm. They're making a Netflix special on him.
Nice.
Like we said they should.
Well, I guess this Urban Meyer probably won't talk for that.
No, probably. Well, it's a documentary, right? So
Yeah.
they are getting interviews. Matter of fact, most people that are involved with that team, you probably can't get an interview with to talk about that team.
Yeah. Riley Cooper should talk.
He should do all the talking.
Yeah.
That's Who's Back.
Aaron
All right,
Hernandez
that-
can't talk.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great one. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be incredible.
Dan Bilzerian can talk, but he'll make them sign NDAs. They won't be able to use any footage.
Yeah.
They might get Ryan Lochte just to comment because he's
Yeah,
around.
that would be
Yeah.
cool.
Bilzerian might talk.
I mean, he was just there.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
he'll definitely lie. He'll just like make up stories.
Yeah.
So this one time I fucked Tim Tebow's girlfriend.
Yeah. I just come back from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake, your who's back?
My who's back? The defending champion Water Dogs Lacrosse Club.
Yeah.
Opening day, overtime winner Connor Kelly, 1-0.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yes.
I'm calling it. Our goal this season is to go undefeated.
There's 10
wa-
regular season games.
Anything
so
less than
10% of the way
undefeated is a failure.
I watched
It's a
the whole
failure.
game. I wish we scored more. We should shoot more, which I've been saying since day one. But yeah, good job on the Water Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They did it.
1-0. Also, I'm calling one of their games July 14th.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you gonna wear pants?
1-0. Yes.
Yeah,
I
we heard
that.
you don't wear pants.
No,
I heard
a
that,
lot of
yeah.
people have reported that you don't wear pants.
What is it? Is it like a kink?
It's just comfort.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, that
more
makes sense.
airflow.
That makes sense. Thank God you had pants on for your hole in one.
Yeah.
Was there any part of that video you'd take back?
No.
I thought your celebration was good.
It was like it's a raw reaction.
Yeah, right.
Just running in circles. Like, I don't know
Right.
what to do with myself.
Yeah.
I can't believe it happened. I can't. I can't believe it.
Best golfer on the show.
Yeah. Not even close. Not even close. Not the person who golfs the most on this show, but the best golfer.
Best one here.
Yep. Best in the office. Best one here. Okay, let's get to our interview. Rich Eisen in studio. Great interview with Rich. Haven't talked to him in like 4 or 5 years. It's awesome catching up with him. Before we do that, Piety, you got a quick sponsor?
Yeah, Rich is going to be brought to you by LifeLock. Today, there are more identity threats than you realize, and even if you monitor your credit and your bank statements, only a little personal information needs to leak out for identity thieves to make you their victim. They can take over your investment accounts, open up new loans, commit other crimes in your name, much, much more, and they're doing it while they're pretending to be you. It can be dangerously easy for identity thieves to use a little leak to put you underwater, but at LifeLock, they have alerts that set you up if there's an identity threat. If there's something that you could easily miss on your own, LifeLock will let you know about it. And if your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it. You don't have to watch your identity go down the drain. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but everyone can save up to 25% off your first year just by going to lifelock.com/PMT. That's lifelock.com/PMT. Get 25% off. LifeLock identity theft protection starts here. And now, here's Rich Eisen.
Okay, we now welcome on recurring guest,
Ah,
friend of the show. It is Rich Eisen. You can watch the Rich Eisen show. You can see him on NFL Network. You can see him in what seems like every show that needs a cameo.
Yeah.
Billions.
Sure. Yep.
Law and Order.
No, I've never done a Law and Order.
Oh, damn.
CSI Miami.
CSI Miami. That's Law and Order.
Once you go
adjacent.
Caruso, you can't go
Yeah.
anything else.
You can't go Hargitay? I'm a much bigger fan of Hargitay.
I understand. I never had an opportunity to Hargitay. I had an opportunity to Caruso twice.
Yeah.
And I still
Gotta
get
take
residual checks. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 So we haven't seen you in, I think it's been like 4 years or so since you've been on.
Yes. Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I think.
couple Atlanta Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Couple apologies on my behalf. Michigan did turn out to be back, so congrats on that. Still haven't won a playoff game.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
seems like something you want to do eventually if you keep getting there.
True.
And we watched all of Game of Thrones and liked it. So there you go.
I did tell you about that,
Two
right?
big apologies.
I totally
right off
forgot
the
about
bat.
that.
Well, no, because Rich told us to get into it, and then the last season happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Last season
You
was
mushed
subpar.
Game of Thrones.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
last
on you.
season. Yes, I'm happy to be blamed for the last season not being up to the first several.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
if you go back and you look at that interview, I bet we actually come across looking like huge assholes for the
the
Game of Thrones
biggest.
thing. We're like, oh, you like your dragon show, little dragon
It's
man?
all good though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
called
were right.
evolution. I mean, look at you guys now. When
Yeah.
I first was on the show, you were not who you are today. I mean, you're a father now.
Yes,
I thought you
You
father
look
of
like you're
three.
paying. You look
Father
like
of three.
you do look like you're paying attention to your personal hygiene. A little
Yes,
bit better.
thank you.
When you
Thank
at least
you.
admit that.
Yes,
now
absolutely. Shower every day.
you're frozen in time.
Yeah, no, I thought you were about to say. Like,
No, that you haven't evolved at all.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, you guys have evolved. When I was on the show, it was actually funny.
I'm sure your bank account has evolved though.
Yeah.
So you guys are now a completely different spot.
Well, no, I have a fictional son, Chris.
Oh, really?
He's 4. He's
Huge
actually
Liv fan.
he's thinking about becoming a fan, defecting to Smash away from the 4 Aces.
Is he a huge Liv fan because he watches the CW?
Oh yeah, he loves
As a
you know,
4-year-old?
One Tree Hill.
Okay,
Yes.
All
very
that
good.
stuff,
Big
Okay,
time.
good.
But congrats on Michigan.
Thank you.
You guys beat Ohio State 2
Twi-
years in a
oh,
row.
It's great. It's
It-
really good.
Ha-
It's great.
So, are you a little nervous though that Jim Harbaugh is going to leave? Because he
Why am I
eventually is going to
nervous?
leave.
No, that's part of the landscape with him. Is that he's going to kick the tires on the NFL. He might actually play, more than just footsie, like say on a National Recruiting Day 2 years ago with the Vikings, and then last year got even closer. And if he leaves, then I hope he winds up in a spot that makes him happy, and we hopefully will find somebody like Luke Fickell,
Yes.
who I told you prior to the, our taping here. I think he's awesome, and all Wisconsin fans will not know what to do with themselves when like a fifth wide receiver steps
Yes.
on the field even once.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have like 5 quarterbacks now, probably better than every quarterback not named Russell Wilson.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It will be. So I'm concerned about that.
The message
Good.
boards are going to be very funny though. If once Wisconsin loses like a close game to a rival, there will
Yes.
be somebody on a message board that says, "We got to bring the fullback back." What's this about?
Right.
Yeah.
Why aren't we running the football anymore?
Yeah.
That's what Nebraska's gone through for the last 20 years.
Why are we passing on 4th and 1?
Yeah.
While you're going for it on 4th and 1 as opposed to previous years. That's number one.
Yeah.
And you're Luke Fickell, I love him. Again, as I said, I'm sure he's been on this show multiple times. He's funny. He's engaging. He's young. He's exactly who Wisconsin should be going for.
Now, do you have an apology for me?
What should I apologize about?
Your basketball coach being a petulant child and
Okay.
smushing the face of my basketball
Well,
coach?
that's 2 years ago.
Okay, well, we haven't seen you in 4
That's
years.
been- so I
Yeah,
apologize
don't know.
on behalf of
Juwan Howard?
Yeah, Juwan
Not
Howard.
very Michigan man of him.
Well, your guy got in his face.
Oh,
too.
a handshake, yes. No coach has ever handshake.
Are we
after
really
a game.
litigating this
we
again?
haven't seen you
I
in
would have.
4
I would have
years.
dusted off my memory bank on this.
Yeah,
no,
we
you're
haven't seen you in
not.
4 years.
We have a file that we keep for every recurring
Is that
guest
right?
of grievances
Of grie-
that we have, and then we
Right.
unseal the grievances when they
Okay.
come back on the show.
I had no
Say
idea.
he's not a Michigan man.
That I would never say such a thing.
But he's
Why would
not.
I say such a
Because
thing?
Michigan men do not act like that.
Well, he had a momentary lapse of reason. How does that sound?
Okay,
So,
okay.
So I apologize that your coach got too aggressive on a handshake
That's
line.
again. See,
Does
this
that-
is not very Michigan man of you. Like,
Which is what?
It sounds like, if
trying to-
anything, a firm handshake should be something that's applauded amongst a Michigan. man.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yes.
And it was aggressive. He should not have laid hands on your coach.
Again, a handshake.
It should not have been anything escalating to anything remotely close to what it
Actually,
did.
you know what? You are sounding like a Michigan man, just skirting all blame and being like
He shouldn't have
someone
done it.
else's
He
fault.
shouldn't have done it. But that's
Yeah.
what I said at the time too. Had I come on the show then as well,
Yeah.
I would have said it.
I'm trying to think of other grievances we would have
don't
against
know.
Michigan.
Or-
would you like to apologize for Kid Rock?
So anybody that's from the state of Michigan,
Yeah,
I know.
he's Michigan.
Well,
adjacent.
Michigan. He's Michigan State.
He's probably dated a stripper named Ann Arbor before.
It's it is possible. No, I have nothing to do with Kid Rock at all.
You disavow Kid Rock.
I disavow Kid Rock.
That was
What
a
about-
trap question.
What
We love
about
Kid
Ted
Rock.
Kaczynski?
I totally disavow.
Okay,
him.
all right.
Is
good.
he from Michigan too?
Well, no, he went to Michigan. He got a PhD from Michigan.
Did you just Google that?
Yeah, I did. I knew he did, but I had to double check.
What
to
did
not-
What did you Google? Psychopaths
No, I
who
just
went
said
to
Ted
Michigan.
Kaczynski.
Okay.
And he went to Michigan for his PhD.
Yeah.
That's where he learned how to kill people.
Didn't run into him on the quad or at the quad or in the diag.
Okay.
Didn't see him at the hash bash.
Okay.
Didn't see him anywhere like that at all.
What about Hunter Dickinson trying to hold the entire college basketball world hostage for like a month? You want to apologize for that?
I can't imagine that you are drilling down deep right
Yeah,
now. You're drilling
again,
down
well, see,
really
You
deep.
didn't realize the trick I did is I came out and apologized right away, and then it's like, well, now the rest of the interview is just trying to find ways for you to apologize.
I'm apologizing for Hunter Dickinson holding up the transfer portal.
Yes, correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Then yes, I apologize
Okay, good.
for that.
Yeah,
I accept
will-
your apology.
Okay.
We uphold the dignity of the portal in this.
Understood. How dare anybody
He's the Patrick
gum up the portal?
Patrick Cantlay of the transfer portal. Everyone just jammed up behind him trying
People
to get it.
are got their iPhones timing how long
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Making
What about-
memes.
What about Ann Coulter? She's a Michigan ma'am.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's a Michigan ma'am.
Wow. Yeah, I disavow her too.
Okay, all right, good.
Absolutely
We're getting it all
disavow her.
out.
I had no idea.
Who do you avow? Who is the most prestigious Michigan alum?
Who do I avow? Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I like him.
Adam
Yeah,
Schefter.
that ends all conversations. It really does.
it does. Like I
Yeah.
can't
Tom
really-
Brady is a conversation ender, and it's great. I love it. I love putting that card on the table.
But you
anytime.
guys didn't treat him well.
we treated him.
Drew
shabbily.
Henson.
Drew-
Yeah.
Drew Henson. Listen, Drew Henson at the time was Mr. Michigan in multiple sports, and clearly, if he was going to go anywhere, Michigan was the spot to go. And eventually, Lloyd Carr came around. I was at a game in Syracuse actually one time when Brady and Henson split quarters.
It's crazy.
I've never seen anything like it, and it was clear who was the better quarterback at the time. So, yeah, I wish Brady had, but at least he didn't leave to go find his spot like, say, Joe Burrow. All Ohio State fans, pardon me, the Ohio State fans who claim Burrow as one of their own. And they're, well, he thanked Ryan Day when he won the trophy, when he won the Heisman Trophy. He talks about how great it was at Ohio State all the time. Like, he had to leave.
No, you have to play at least a year. You have to play at least a year to claim anyone.
Or play and get your moments
Yeah.
at the school that
Yeah.
you're trying to claim him for.
No, I agree.
I mean, get out of here.
I agree.
That's loser talk by OSU.
Like, how many NC State fans claim Russell Wilson?
I would if I went to.
I think
Okay,
that's
so-
a 50-50. Yeah.
It's a coin flip?
Yeah, I think
Because-
that's okay. What, like the Russell Wilson now, he's NC State. The Super Bowl winner, that was Wisconsin. It's pretty easy.
If you go to NC State,
That's good,
really,
man.
you can hang your hat on two things. One, Chuck Amato's sunglasses, which were awesome.
Chuck Amato sunglasses. Great fantasy team name, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then
good.
the second thing you could say is like we are QBU.
Yeah.
and then you list off Jacoby Brissett,
Yes.
Phillip Rivers,
Yes.
and Russell Wilson.
Look at you.
and
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon.
Come on.
How could I
Mike-
forget?
Mike
Who
Glennon made a
Warren
lot of
Sapp-
money.
Warren Sapp once referred to him on game day morning as Mick Glennon, like like McLovin. Like, and it was we stopped.
What did you
Like, what
just
did
do?
you just call him? Mick Glennon.
Yeah.
It's actually a fun hypothetical. If the NIL and transfer portal existed today,
Yes.
Tom Brady, he probably transfers.
No, I think he's a Michigan man through and
I think
through.
he
and
probably
those who-
transferred.
listen, there's a sign there that says "Those who stay will be champions."
Right, but I
so
think-
he stayed, and now he's a 7-time Super Bowl winner and the GOAT. And it's a
Yeah.
conversation ender. It ends the conversation.
How long do you have to stay to become a champion?
Sometimes a little longer than expected.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's a sign.
Maybe he just
At Michigan.
He probably appreciated the environment and the education that he was getting at Michigan. He
I
would've
would
stayed.
agree. Yes, the diploma that's
If
on
you
the wall.
stay long enough, we will invite the YMCA from Detroit and beat them, and we will be champions. That's kind of what they say.
Yes.
All right, so I have a real question for you.
Oh, really?
Apologies over. I didn't realize you are a voter in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I am not.
Okay, you're not. So here's another question.
So
Was
you're
that in
right.
the same
no.
Google as Ted Kaczynski went to Michigan?
So Big Cat's right. He
I'm right.
didn't realize
Yeah,
that you were
I didn't realize.
a voter.
You're
So
not-
he was
you're not.
I am not a voter.
Are you part of the what do you have with the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Do you not?
I MC their jacket dinner every fall.
Do you ever aspire to be the one who knocks?
No.
Okay.
That means I got to get on a plane. I don't
Yeah.
want to go places.
But knocking would be cool.
Knocking would be good. I wouldn't mind knocking.
All right, so do you know anyone who's a Pro Football Hall of Fame voter?
I think Peter King is.
And what did he say that's like? I'm still going to go with my question. I'm going to go forward with my question.
He says it's kind of cool.
Okay,
I mean,
all right,
yeah,
cool.
so where are we going to go? Like
I was going to ask.
Let's do it again.
I actually do. I thought, I don't know why I thought that, but I always wanted to know what happens in that meeting where they all sit and debate players' legacy for an entire Saturday. And they're like, okay, yeah, this guy's good.
I heard it. Well, they used to do it the Saturday before the Super Bowl. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
They do it a few weeks. So now they do it a few weeks in advance. So now the knocks on the door are fully produced with multiple cameras. They used to shoot it like it was a sweepstakes winner at the door. Now it's multiple cameras and what have you. But I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for. I have no insights.
Well,
I have zero insights on that.
I think there's probably some players that we could start standing on the table for.
Okay.
Brian Mitchell should be in the Hall of Fame.
Devin
Is
Hester.
that right? Devin Hester should be in the Hall of Fame.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Brian Mitchell, I think he has the most return yards ever. Maybe the second most all-purpose yards in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, he's not getting in the Hall of Fame.
Why not?
Because I don't think return men get in the Hall of Fame.
Except for Devin Hester.
Devin Hester should, and he hasn't yet. Barstool's own Deion Sanders.
Yes.
I'm sure you've had him on to talk about it. He gets really upset when it comes to this issue.
About Devin Hester?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the best player at your position all time, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
It's very few people will Deion say about someone else saying that guy was better.
Yeah.
And he says that about Devin, about returning.
Right.
And he would know a thing or two about returning. And then he loves Devin Hester. He took him in as a kid. And then the night that Devin broke his return record was on NFL Network, and Deion was in the building in Atlanta, which was just amazing.
Perfect moment.
And also, well, I'm sorry that I'm pounding the table for his guy and not yours
No,
right
okay.
now.
It's whatever.
But the Super Bowl against, obviously, the Colts, where the entire universe was thinking, will Devin Hester get a ball to return, let alone return one that he does actually get? And the Colts mysteriously kicked to him to lead the game off, and he did it. It's truly one of the greatest expectation meeting moments I've ever personally witnessed.
I'd agree.
Ever. Unreal.
The like when it became a point of emphasis for each team to do not kick to Devin Hester, and then a kicker would make a mistake, and you're like, he would just deliver. Yeah. And it was just wild to watch.
I've never seen anything like that happen. It was like the Matrix. I couldn't believe he did it. And then to use the succession phrase, Rex fucked it.
Yeah,
as soon as that happened.
He did.
Like the very next minute, it was over.
Yeah, well, it was raining.
It was raining.
Yeah,
but
his
Prince,
hands didn't really work.
Prince performed in the rain.
That was the
Prince
best
did pretty
halftime
well.
show ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was incredible
Rain,
too.
In the Purple Rain.
Yes.
Doesn't get any better than that.
And he and also the press conference the Thursday before.
Yeah.
Where he took no questions but actually played two songs for the hard-bitten, cynical media that was there. And then everyone was getting up and dancing.
Yeah.
That was unreal.
Yeah, to get guys like your Peter Kings standing up and clapping along to something besides Bruce Springsteen is tough
huge.
to do.
Rhythmically.
Yeah, he was clapping on the twos and the fours.
It was really impressive.
All right, so what is your favorite thing you do in your job? Because you do so much stuff.
I do love doing my show every day because it's something I own now and do, but outside of that, it's the draft.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the draft.
It is the best.
It is the best. It's wild how something that is essentially just the reading of names over a 3-day period is so transfixing. It is something that I get into. I totally geek out about it. I do not care what anybody else might say. I think it's unbreakable. It's something, as long as everybody wants to actually gather around a television set for 3 days and watch an event where the power brokers are not physically there. It's the only thing in the NFL calendar where nobody's there except the commissioner to read off names. I love it. I love it.
It's the transaction of hope. You just sit there and you get hope. You get delivered hope for your team over and over. Even if it's you trade down and you get picks in the future. Yeah. It's just hope.
How many Bears fans had heard of Darnell Wright before the moment they heard his name?
I actually had him as my number one prospect.
You did?
Across all positions. I did. PFT will back that up.
Is that a true
Said
story?
before, yeah.
Yeah, he had right. I had Forbes 1A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forbes
Understood.
1A.
So we have a little bit of a different draft board. I mean, people were saying Bryce Young. It's like quarterback's not that important. So, yeah, Darnell Wright was number 1.
Yeah, is Bryce Young too short?
Yeah. How about that? Mm-hmm. Oh, you really were asking me if
Yeah.
he's too short?
Is he too short?
I have no idea. Do you?
No, because his eyes
didn't
are
look too
tall.
sh-
His eyes are tall enough. Rich.
Everybody says the SEC is the 9th division of the NFL.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to bother him there, did it?
No,
That's
but
true.
we've got a theory on this show, and apparently some NBA teams are starting to do this. They don't measure to the top of the head; you measure to the eyes, right? Because who cares how tall somebody's forehead is?
Right.
It's wasted space above the eyes.
So
Bryce has tall eyes.
Is
so,
that-
so I think he'll be fine.
Impressive.
eyes
I never
sit
thought of
high
it that
on
way.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. He's got the eyes of a 5'11" man.
Like, why would you need the forehead space?
Right.
You don't.
But doesn't Peyton Manning destroy that theory?
Well, so we've talked about that. His forehead it got larger as he got older, as happens to a lot of us.
No, that was his wife doing that.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
I don't think that's a thing, that your forehead gets bigger as you get older.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Well, I
There's
mean,
certain
your
people
hairline
whose-
makes your forehead look bigger, but
Conor
your forehead is
McGregor's
still
skull looks a lot bigger right now.
okay. Well, he's taken many hits.
I don't think
So I
it was
guess
the
Peyton did
hits.
too.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I saw your hot takes for this upcoming football season. I did.
My hot take
Well, Rich said 5 teams he thinks are going to make the playoffs.
that are
So,
new.
that are new.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
New.
I was about to come in hot. I was just going to say, I think
14
the Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Lions were one of them, which I think we can all probably agree. They seem
I
like
think they win the division.
they're poised to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Jets make sense.
Yes.
But then you had Rams, Steelers, Falcons.
Yes.
Steelers I actually think makes sense. Falcons is a little out of left field.
Falcons, that division's completely wide open.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins it? The Saints, just because they got Derek Carr? I mean, I need to see what that looks like. Kamara might not play all year at all.
I actually
depending
think
on what happens.
I kind of like Ritter, but I really like Heineke.
Yeah.
I feel like Heineke's probably going to start a few games this year.
He might, but and I know he's a fan favorite in many different ways. But is he really gonna? I don't know. I kind of think that it's going to be Ritter. I kind of think they're going to get that opportunity. I like what they did on defense, and I like the coach.
Yeah.
And Rams.
You ever had the coach on this show?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Arthur
Arthur
Smith.
Smith's a good friend of ours. We fixed his.
When you
whole
say
look.
good friend, what do you mean?
we text with him pretty regularly.
Okay.
Yeah. So good friend. He's in good friend category.
Basically, whenever we say something mean about his face, he'll send us a text and be like, "Hey guys, that was messed up."
Yeah.
I was listening.
Well,
to
his
that.
face needs to be told to smile.
Well, it's not that. It's the chin or lack thereof.
Really?
Yeah. But we've worked on it. He grew a beard for a little bit. So he's looking better.
You got to respect him in many different ways. The one thing is he doesn't have to do what he's doing.
Right.
That's true. That's very true.
He could be in the Maldives right now doing whatever the hell he wants
That's
to do
very
in his life.
true.
And instead he's making sure, Heineke's up to speed if Ritter fails. Like,
Yeah.
what is he, it's impressive.
You know what, Rich? I've never noticed this about you. You are a good chin guy. You've got a great chin.
Well, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
and
you
a
should
good beard.
Maybe donate to Arthur Smith.
That's all I
Yeah.
got left, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now you got some hair
Nah, not much.
on the side.
It's okay.
Have you thought about going just straight Bic?
Dion going straight what?
What's you say?
Bic?
Oh, I was wondering what
Yeah,
you
no,
said.
I heard that too, Rich.
Yeah.
No, this
you
is-
can answer
no,
it
I'm
either
like
way you want.
Full on bald, like
okay.
nothing. No, I've never thought that.
'Cause it's
I have
all-
thought the other direction, which is Dion wanting me to get the fake hair guy to work on me. I have actually given that
You
thought.
should do that.
Oh, Urlacher's
I don't
guy?
know. Urlacher, it's the same guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Restore or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Thought about
fully
it.
shaved is always a tough because you basically have to straddle the fence of like, is he a white supremacist?
I don't know if anyone would ever
But it is
misconstrue me with
you
one.
see a guy with like a fully clean shaven head and you
Yeah.
kind of do a stop. You're like, wait, okay, he's just bald.
Do you think that about Van Pelt?
Yeah,
Sometimes,
of course.
yeah.
Really?
He's got some very toxic ideas.
Until he explained to us, it's a symbol. It's a Hindu symbol that he has tattooed.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, you're
Okay.
a religious
Understood.
historian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of other completely shaved, bald head guys.
Jay Glazer.
Glaze.
Yeah.
Dude,
Who
he's
knows?
he's like the Jew bear. He's
Yeah,
not-
I
he's
know,
no-
but
he's not a white
I'm
nationalist.
just saying, like, there is, when you see a guy with a fully shaved head, you do have to pause and be like, what happened here?
Yeah. So I've paused and I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I have given thought to the other direction, but it just would,
It
be weird.
funny.
It would
No,
be so
it'd be
weird.
funny.
It would be weird. I don't know.
You should do it.
You think?
Go through a midlife crisis on it.
Yeah.
Just go
Just
fully through
right
it.
in the middle of my
Yeah,
show,
leather
like
jacket,
right around 1:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Have a total complete breakdown where I start revealing problems with my life, personal, professional. I air all grievances and then on live Rich Eisen show air, get the process, get the procedure.
Some TRT.
It'd be great for ratings.
You think?
Yeah,
It would.
It would be.
Interesting.
Do you have any grievances you'd like to air? Do you
Right now?
Yeah. Do you have any beef with anybody?
Ooh.
Who's Rich Eisen's biggest enemy?
I don't have one. I don't think.
You got someone that's pissed
What?
you off.
That's pissed me off.
Yeah. Or maybe a
Get into the mud with
storyline
somebody.
or something about media, trait of media.
Trait
Something
of
the,
media.
The way the media talks about something.
Huh. Well, yeah. I mean, the obvious one is the way that the rest of our sports world talks about things in complete absolutes, arguing with each other, yelling and screaming. I mean, that's why your show in many ways is so popular, is the two of you guys get along and it's fun. It's fun watching friends shoot the shit. That's why PTI is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
But the arguing and the screaming and the yelling and just knowing the next morning when LeBron screws it up that somebody's just going to go all in on him and
MJ's better.
and then making sure. Yeah, well, that's yes. If you want to have that conversation,
I would.
Well, we just
Okay.
did.
yeah.
yeah, it's over.
Yeah, right. MJ's better. We just had
That's it. I mean,
complete.
yeah. But then not caring about being right, just wanting to be heard. Then let's invite that person on the show to hash it out.
Right.
And then, if I would be that person, now I'm lending my platform to legitimize theirs. And that's the sort of cycle that this thing goes in. And if I don't go on your show, then I'm weak. I won't respond. I won't come back. I won't own what I've said. That's sort of toxic stuff in our business that sucks.
But it sells.
It does. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But I'm doing something complete opposite every day.
Well, what about when Ross Tucker gets on your show with your name on it and
Yes.
says something stupid about how great Princeton football is? Then do you ever think about having Ross Tucker back on to defend
Well,
his take?
that's Dan's show, PFT.
Oh, he doesn't do your show?
No.
I thought I've seen him on your show.
So
the beef.
I'm. By the
There's
way,
the
I'm
beef.
I'm Pro Football Hall of Fame voter Dan Patrick
Yep.
here on Pardon My
Exactly.
Take.
I just assume that
Got
Ross
it.
Tucker fills in for everybody's show.
No, he
when they're
doesn't.
gone.
No, it's Dan's guy.
Yeah.
It's Dan's
Okay.
filling.
Would you have Ross Tucker on the show?
Sure.
To fill in.
Who's your main fill-in? Oh, is it?
It's my wife.
Okay. She fills in. Who
She
else
does.
has filled in? Albert Pierce filled in?
No, Tom Pelissero.
That's
is
right.
filled in.
Okay.
Handful of other guys. I don't like getting out of my chair.
Right.
I like doing it.
Right.
We kind of feel
Every
the
day.
same way on this show. Like we enjoy doing our show, even though we've done it 7 years, which I mean, in the grand picture of things,
Yes.
is not that long to do. Like you've been doing your show, you've been on TV for what
27 years.
27 years, but you still have that feeling like you don't want to leave you don't want to let somebody else take your job even for a second.
You're a control freak. If you do what we're doing, you're a control freak.
Yeah.
How many days in a row have you what's the record number of days in a row you have recorded at least one version of this show?
For Hank, 3.
For you guys.
Well, I mean, there's days that we only release 3 times a week. So,
Yeah.
but
I release one a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, bonk.
What? What?
So-
do you think? Like retirement anytime?
No, Jesus. What's
Really?
the matter with you? I'm 53. No.
I don't know. I would like to be retired by 53.
No, I'd like to work less. I mean, but I love doing what I'm doing every day. And plus, whenever I'm out of the chair, I notice, my show is a podcast version, and also there's YouTube, and there's various different ways to distribute it, other than just Roku every day. There's a drop off, so I don't like getting out of the chair.
So, but is there a moment? Are you worried at all about reaching a moment where you feel maybe out of touch? Like when you get to a certain age.
Well,
I'm
I
not saying
come
you're
on
there.
here to
I'm not
show I'm
saying-
in touch.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're there. I'm just saying that is something I think about. Where it's like there will be a moment where it's like, oh, I kind of missed this story, or I don't know what people are thinking anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
You're setting what people are talking about.
Right, but it definitely happens to everyone. You can't stay young forever.
Right.
So that just doesn't even enter
No.
your thoughts.
No. Honestly, it doesn't. I don't. I do think, about the way the business goes and what is of interest to people and how they consume it. And will that pass me by? I don't know. Like, that's the sort of stuff I think about.
Right.
Where how old are your kids now?
4, 2, and newborn.
Okay, so they're going to start watching things on a phone. Like, for me, I'd be like, get out of here.
Right.
But that's it. And then anything that's 30 seconds to 45 seconds long for them is a show.
Right.
For me, it's, a distraction.
Right.
So that's the way the world is going. And that's the way people are consuming their stuff on demand. How many live shows have you guys done?
I no idea.
Like actual live shows?
Yeah, like let's turn the cameras on
never.
and what you say. Never.
I mean, we live stream,
right. Sure.
but no.
Oh, you mean like a live part of my take?
Yeah.
No, we don't do that.
Never done one.
Do you want to do it?
Not really.
No, because we sit down, we write the show for 3 hours before. So this has all been scripted. Like when Big Cat, I was
so
like,
where does the research come in? You've already asked
doesn't-
me
doesn't-
incorrect questions
No, that's
multiple
part of the
times.
beauty. I sat down this morning. I was like, Big Cat, you should ask him about his
Yeah.
Hall of Fame vote because he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
So it's his
that's going to
fault?
get him. That's going to get him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's fine. We navigated it perfectly.
Is there a post meeting where you're like, why did you give me that if it was wrong? You're
No,
like,
we crushed that portion of the show.
Yeah.
So there's job well done.
I mean,
by us.
I think a live show could be fun to do at some point, but we also the way that we tape the show sometimes is out of
Yeah.
order. Like this isn't going to come out for another few days, or
We're
I'm
never
not,
running
maybe
this.
maybe
See,
never.
I'm the exact opposite. It's weird for me to do something on tape.
yeah.
Yeah, because I love doing it live, and I love not rehearsing, and I love just getting out there, and then being done with it.
Yeah,
That's what I like.
I think our other thing, which we love having, is the ability to tape late at night and be in people's phones when they wake up in the morning. Don't really want to wake up at 4 a.m.
But that's why you guys, many reasons why you're successful, is again the number of times I've been told, "Hey, big moment just happened. Just shoot something on your phone and post it." And I'm like, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids. I've got 2 jobs. I got lots going on. So I'm just gonna let me pull over to the side of the road and do this. And the answer I get back is, yeah. Like that's
what we
the
do,
way
yeah.
of
Take it
doing
to the
things.
game, yeah.
Like that is the way people consume things now, and that's where I catch myself, and I'm like, yeah, like pull over to the side of the road and do this thing, and just send it in, and then you're done with it. And that's
You push back at that.
yes, of course
Yeah.
I do. I do. I'm like, it's not like the Truman Show where I'm going to have somebody follow me around and my whole life is on TV, and I know that's the complete extreme of just pull over to the side of the road and shoot something for 2.5 minutes and hit send and we'll handle the rest. That to me that's my concern. Not that I'm out of touch about what people are talking about.
Right.
As long as I still do what I'm doing every single day and watching the shows that I'm watching that I think people are watching also, and music and movies, I think I'm in tune on that front.
Yeah.
It's the other stuff about, hey, let's come up with Rich Eisen Plus. Well, what is that? Well, we'll do this and that, and some other people will pay you this money to get Plus. I'm like, what the fuck is Plus? Like, everything's Plus now. There's an NFL Plus.
Yeah.
You say in Succession, Living Plus. Like, there's
Yeah.
always a plus.
Yeah.
So that, like, if I don't keep up with the pluses, then maybe
You're a minus.
look at you.
Look at that.
You know math.
Damn.
That's
I
impressive.
do.
So-
A little bit.
Rich,
Yes, sir.
I remember back in 2013, you invented. Was it? There was an app that you put out. I think you invented Tinder, right?
You did?
No, it was.
You invented Tinder,
Again, that's,
because I remember-
I didn't invent Tinder.
This was like 2013.
Yes.
Because I remember
Yeah.
when the app came out,
Yeah.
you invented a dating app
For sports
fans
Yes.
to find fans of
Correct.
their favorite sports teams.
Correct.
And start talking to them online and take
Yes.
it into the real world.
That happened.
I invaded that app in 2013.
And how'd it go for you?
Well, I wrote a blog post about it, and so I was out there trying to find women that wanted to talk to me about whether or not Joe Flacco was elite, and it was
What'd you find?
it was a fertile nesting ground, my friend,
For your sex life or for your Joe Flacco conversation?
for the Joe
life?
Flacco
Okay,
conversations.
cool.
I didn't get laid off of it, but I remember when it came out, I was like, "Oh shit, Rich is inventing a dating app right
Yeah.
now." Can you walk us through what that was like
I
and
had-
where that came from?
It was a PR guy that I was with at the time, and he's just like, you got to do something other than just what you're doing.
Plus.
It-
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And he came up with this idea, and I'm like, okay, but I'm married with 3 kids. Like, that might be the last guy to be the face forward of like, come on and hook up through your love of the Ravens. I mean, so maybe that's why it didn't work, or everything else just kind of sucked about it. But that burned out real quick.
Did you use the app at all?
I did not use the app. That's the other thing, is they wanted me to be on it. Like, hey, watch a football game on the app and go back and forth with people.
Yeah.
And I love when people call into my show. I love this. I did stand up back in college, so I always like the immediate feedback of saying something. but I just couldn't bring myself to just let's get online, and just chop it up. I just couldn't do it.
Sounds like you basically invented a message board with actual chicks.
It's what
Not
I
just dudes being like, I'm a chick.
I don't think there's let's just put it this way. I think there's a germ of an idea in there.
Yeah.
It exists.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to freaking do it.
How to
And
do
I
it, yeah.
probably am like the last guy you'd want to be, hey, come on in here,
I think the idea
fellow
is just,
youths, and go hook up.
I think it's not like men seeking women. I think it's men seeking other men. So
could be.
kind of like a grinder / sports fan.
Could
thing,
be that.
Where you're like, I just want to find some bros that we can like debate whether like Joel Embiid can win a championship or not.
Well, if you recall, when you got through the initial portal, and it was fast, because I understand your problem with slow portals,
Yes.
that you were able to choose who you were looking for, which gender you were looking for
Yeah.
at the top. So I'm telling you, it's there.
Guys
it
searching
exists.
for guys.
It
Yeah,
exists.
just to get into a sports debate with,
Yeah. Just
like
a random
an
debate.
app to meet up. Or we had the idea on the show a few years ago, just an app where you can meet up with a guy to fight. If you want to just like go fight in a park,
Yeah.
get the aggression out. Jay Glazer would actually be a great face for that.
He
app.
would be.
He would.
Yeah,
Yeah, in his gym.
get glazed.
Yeah.
Yeah, glazed plus.
Glaze plus.
What are your expectations for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets?
They are very high.
Really?
Yeah.
So Super Bowl?
No, because nothing that good can happen to me
Right.
or Jets fans. It's just, let's just put it this way. The bar that Favre set in this situation, which is win 8 of your first 11, then sorely disappoint both
got
on
injured.
and off the field.
Yeah.
Right. Then that's and then not make the playoffs, and then use it as a transfer portal for you to work out your own revenge strategy against the Packers. That's the bar. I have a feeling Rodgers will leap that bar.
I agree.
Despite how tough the schedule is. But this is a better roster and a better coaching staff than the one that Favre inherited. And again, I'm using that as the example for obvious reasons. And so I do believe this team will make the playoffs, and I think we'll win a playoff game and will be at least that 4th seat in this game of musical chairs that 3 of the seats seem to be occupied every year in the Final Four in the AFC with Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes. 2 years ago, that was Tannehill's seat. Last year, it was Trevor Lawrence's seat. I see no reason why that can't be Rodgers' seat.
Now, speaking, the 3 of us, we are not, let's just say we don't really know what good quarterbacking looks like. That's fair to say. Jets, Bears, and Commanders. Is there a small party that will feel a little dirty kind of betraying there's like a brotherhood of franchises where it's like, no, we'll never have a quarterback. Do you feel like you betrayed that a little? Like, would you even know, like when you're watching the Jets and Aaron Rodgers makes a competent throw?
Yeah, like what that will look like?
Yeah, what it will feel like.
I have no idea. Honestly, I might.
Like, you're going to watch good offense.
If you know anybody, like I might have to reach out to people who are used to seeing high-quality quarterback play in their spot. I would need to reach out to that person. Because you're right. I mean, Sanchez was the last one, I believe, who was consistently good enough, interestingly enough, born out of Favre leaving. So it's been a long time, man. And last year was brutal. And putting all your hopes and dreams into some kid out of BYU who clearly wasn't ready. It's very rare for a coach and a general manager to survive that. And they're about to, and I think they're set up. I really do think they are set up, and I think Rodgers is. I know that. I know. I'm setting myself up by saying that it is set up. I totally know where the trapdoor resides, and the schedule again is really insanely tough. But I do believe Rodgers can be Brady 2.0 in terms of playing deep into his 40s if that is something he wants to do. He doesn't look to be a broken down guy. He looks to be the exact opposite, taking care of himself. And so, the expectation level is high.
There is that moment for fans of, I guess, abused fans of franchises like ourselves where the quarterback releases the ball and your instinct is to go, oh, no.
Yeah,
right. Anticipating an interception happening.
Yes.
It's going to take you years to unlearn that habit. When Rodgers starts throwing passes, you're going to still revert back to that, oh, it's the Jets quarterback throwing a pass.
Yeah.
Here comes an interception. It's going to be a process for you.
Of course. And especially if they go 10-1, I'll say, how are they going to blow this?
Right.
Yeah.
And if they go into the playoff game, how are they going to blow that? Like, that's truly the way I'm wired when it comes to being a Jets fan, but that's been 50 years of learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, well-learned behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it would be amazing if he, honestly, I said this just this past Super Bowl when I strolled into the stadium and I saw the Chiefs and Eagles logos in the end zone. I'm like, I don't know how I would react if I just saw the word Jets in an end zone for the Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl Thursday last year with NFL honors, with the offensive and defensive rookies of the year. I'd like to push it for 3 more days and win the Super Bowl Sunday. They're getting close, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you win Super Bowl Thursday, you're close to Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't think that's true.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Have you had the thought in your head, what if this doesn't work out? Because that's also the scary part of being fans of franchises. Like, it's a fleeting thought that pops in my head every now and then. Like, what if Justin Fields isn't the guy? Like, this will break me probably worse than I've ever been broken. Would that be the same if Aaron Rodgers is like an abject failure?
If it doesn't work out, it can't be any worse than had they just stayed with Zach Wilson. That's the way I'm looking at it.
But the expectations are so much higher, so I think it could be worse.
No, you can't talk me into hating myself.
I'm just asking.
No, I'm just saying I look at it in terms of realities and alternatives. The reality is this. They're set up. Let's see how it goes down. And it's better than the alternative, which was to run it back with this kid because Rodgers was uninterested because the roster wasn't to his liking, or the Jets blew the negotiation with the Packers. These are the alternatives that would be far worse than me being disappointed by his actual play.
Okay.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
Okay, that's smart. That's
and
healthy.
so, because there's no other way for me to look at it.
Yeah.
Because if Zach Wilson went through the schedule that they have just had placed in front of them, that reeks of 4-13 at the best possible scenario, based on what we saw last year and how the Jet fan base became, like cannibals when that kid stepped on the field. They were ready to eat him alive because we all saw it with our own 2 eyes.
Yes.
The better option is that. Now, let me ask you a question. Commanders, we got to change that name, right? It totally sucks. New guys, like the new ownership comes in.
Yeah.
They've got to get rid of that.
So I would love to see them go back to Washington Football Team.
Yes.
And then change the name again. So have like 5 name changes.
So
in the
get
span
one
of
more
6
placeholder?
years. Yeah, do a placeholder
Okay.
season
Yes.
with Josh Harris.
Yes.
Because the Commanders, it was that name, I'm pretty sure, knowing the way that Dan runs things, he knew that he was going to have it be the Commanders come hell or high water. Didn't matter what the fans wanted. He wants to appeal. He wanted to sell season tickets to
who?
Raytheon. To people
Sure.
in Northern Virginia and,
Yeah.
and Maryland that work in the military industrial complex.
Yes.
A lot of retired military people there buy season tickets. So he was like, okay, let's the NFL always kind of flirts with this line too. They think that they're part of the military. I think they believe that they're another branch of the military officially at this point.
Right.
But Snyder wants to kind of lean into that. And so he wanted to go with the Commanders to appeal to that segment of the fan base, not realizing that segment of the fan base does not give a shit about
At
the
all.
Washington football team. First, you have to win football games occasionally,
Right.
in order to like suck up to that part of your fan base. So I think it was set from the get-go. It was going to be the Commanders.
Right.
If I'm Josh Harris, I'm taking over a team. What did Bill Parcells say? Like, change everything, change the carpets in the facility when you take over.
Yeah.
Just change everything about that place, because the stink of losing in the last 30 years, Snyder's stench and his fingerprints are all over that team. Change it to the football team again, and then the year after that, change it to the Hogs.
The Hogs.
Or the Red Hogs.
Hogs would always made the most sense.
Yeah,
it's a
Hogs,
great name.
Can you imagine like
agree.
cartoon pigs with like sharpened fangs and tusks?
Then you don't have
running
to
around?
change Major Tuddy, right?
No, I-
You got to change that too, because that's an awful name for a mascot.
I love Major Tuddy.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's a cool pig.
But the name though.
Yeah,
Tuddy. Like, who? Honestly, have you ever watched a game and just where somebody turns to you and goes, "How many tutties is this guy gonna have today?"
Yeah, Stephen
What
Shea,
a great
actually.
tutty!
That
Oh
actually
my
does
God!
happen.
Did you see that tutty out of McLaurin?
Yeah, you're sounding old right now. 'Cause
Get
that
outta
happens
here.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Come on.
Yeah,
You're
kids are
telling
saying
me-
that all the time.
so we've
Yeah,
now
yeah.
roosted on
Tutties. Tutties
that.
happen.
This is where I'm now out of touch.
Yeah,
we
tutties
say
happen.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
and we say that's a house call.
Yeah.
We all watch the games together in a
Don't
Buffalo
say
Wild
that.
Wings.
You do not.
And we stand
Yeah.
up and we chest bump with fans of opposing teams because we love ball. Football's family.
You do not say that.
Okay,
Of course not.
The name Major Tuddy has.
By the way, it was a good one you made. You
I made you nervous
had
for
me
a second.
no, for a split second. I'm like, wait a minute. Have I lost touch?
Yeah, Major
Right.
Tuddy seems like it's a It's a name that's almost so bad that it's good now. Where I've leaned into it, and it's like Major Tuddy. He's the giant hog.
You remember Steely McBeam?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
that
Steelers,
one
where
ruled.
he looked like Cower. You know,
Yep.
if Cower and the Purdue Boilermaker or Gene Katie had a baby, it came up with Steely McBeam. Even they ditched that. You got to ditch that. Like,
I'm surprised.
everything needs to be changed.
Everything needs
All
to
of
be
it.
changed.
You guys-
I am actually super excited about and hopeful for the future for the first time
should
and what
be.
feels like forever. Like teams, there's so many teams out there that have the, sell the team shirts. We got to fire this owner, and it never happens. I thought I was going to die before Dan Snyder sold the team.
And he did.
And he sold the team.
And you're still here.
And I'm still here, and I managed to see the day that I never thought that I'd see. And really the future is like, I feel like unlimited at this point. Now, it's going to come crashing back down once Jacoby Brissett starts, 8 games and goes 3-5 or whatever halfway through the season.
Right, but if that leads to Caleb Williams, what do you care?
Yeah,
Then that would be
Facts.
wonderful. But at this point, I have an infinite number of Super Bowls possible in my future, which is a great feeling to
No
have.
truer statement that normally is the quiet part to be said out loud. Josh Harris, the new owner, saying essentially they were going to make a ton of money merely because they're not Dan Snyder.
Right.
And it's
Right.
true.
The
It's true. Think about this. Dan Snyder bought the team, I want to say $800 million
Right.
back in 98. And he managed it just about as poorly as you can manage any sort of business. Like, he might be the worst business owner in America.
Yeah.
And then he sold it for
$7 billion.
$6 billion.
Insane. You guys should, because mascots are for kids, right? Like, that's what the reason the mascot's
course.
there.
Yeah.
You guys should just have Santa Claus be your mascot. And be like Santa Claus roots for the Commanders.
You can't boo Santa Claus.
Yeah, right.
Max.
Yeah, Max.
He's a Philly
Max, the
guy.
Philly guy. Here's a hypothetical for you.
Great reaction.
Yeah, he's
Off camera, it was-
been beaten down. Hypothetical for you that we tossed around because we're talking about our terrible franchises.
Yeah.
Next 50 years,
Yeah.
I say to you, you win one Super Bowl and you don't go to the playoffs the other 49 years. Or you go to 15 Super Bowls and you don't win any of them.
Oh, you go to 15 and don't win any.
Yep.
Yes. And it's the saddest thing ever to say.
Of course.
Because, like, people who root for teams that win are like, dude, flags fly forever. It's like 15 years of going to the Super Bowl would be pretty sick.
Unbelievable. Yeah, of course.
It's sad, though. You realize how sad that is. when
I
you admit
understand
that.
how
Yeah.
sad it is. And
Okay, so you agree with us.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It's
pathetic.
Do you consider the Bills of the 90s a dynasty?
No.
Come on.
I mean,
Come on. They are a
no.
dynasty.
No.
Four
They're
Super
dynastic.
Bowls
They're
in a
not
row.
a dynasty.
In a way, they are. They're.
We'll
yeah.
never see that again. Ever.
I
Ever.
wouldn't
We
say
saw
ever.
Brady. We saw Brady with the Patriots and Belichick, and they didn't make 4 in a row.
I wouldn't say ever.
I would. You
I
think
mean,
we're going to see
Like, we're
4 Super
the-
Bowls in a row?
The Chiefs were, halftime away from being 4 in a row. Not, am I right? Yeah.
Which is what? Because the Bengals.
They beat the
Right.
Niners. They lost to the Bucks. Bengals beat them when they were up 21-3 at half, and they went this year.
And then they didn't. So they didn't make it. They
I
didn't do
understand,
it.
but I would say that
They
there's-
came close.
the Chiefs might be.
The team.
Mahomes is that good.
Anything that the Chiefs are doing, as long as Mahomes, I mean, Burrow, again, like I said, quiet part said out loud, him saying, as long as I'm here, we've got a window to win,
Yeah.
is as true a statement as anybody can say, and I love that about him. You could say the same thing about Mahomes,
Yeah.
Allen, and those guys in the AFC. So I hear what you're saying, but the Bills of the early 90s dynasty, there's names from that team that are all over the Hall of Fame.
still
And
think
I
you
know
gotta
because
win
I've been
one
there,
to
even
be
though I don't
dynasty.
vote. So, yes, I think they're a dynasty, but at any rate.
Yeah.
So you would say, so if a team goes to 15 Super Bowls in 50 years, and let's just say they bunched a bunch of them together
Yeah.
and lost them all,
Yeah.
4 in a row,
Really good
not
team.
a dynasty.
Really good team.
Even in your own scenario of what you would choose.
Really good team.
In their own way, they are, but not official
Yeah.
dynasty.
You got to
Because
win
you
a
have to
title
win
be a
one?
dynasty.
You got to
win a couple.
win. You got to win
A few.
3 in the span of 5 years. That's
Yeah.
a dynasty.
Yeah. I think 3 and 5.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. But 4 in a row.
It's a losing dynasty.
Plus, the problem for them is they got blown out in 3 of the 4. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is a problem.
Can you imagine if you went to 15 Super Bowls and lost all of it? How many different tattoos people would get of like,
But you'd have
future
hope
Super Bowl
every time.
champion
Yeah.
every offseason.
You'd have hope every time.
I know.
It'd be great.
Yeah, and you get to go to the parties, you get to enjoy all of the month of January because your team's winning. That'd be great.
basically-
You get an extra month of joy in your life every
That's
single
true.
day.
And this helps your point. We basically broke it down to you'd win 15 NFC championships, which would be awesome.
Or AFC.
Or AFC, but like that
Understood.
would be awesome. That would rule.
So you think Justin Fields is the guy?
Yes.
I do too. I think they made the right move.
Yes. I don't know. There's always, because football is such a tough sport to build a roster around, that still is an element of what if. Because the fear is that he isn't the guy for the Bears the next couple of years, and then he goes somewhere else, and then he's really the guy to a functional organization.
Sort of like him with Georgia.
Yeah, kind of. Exactly. Nice. Little dig at Ohio State. I like that. You're on top right now. You get to do this to Ohio State.
I love it.
It's
so great, man.
How scared are you, though, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Of going back to Canton and ripping that place a new one one more time in front of an entire auditorium of Ohio State, part of the Ohio State fans?
How scared are you that in a world, it's a crazy thing that could happen, but if Urban Meyer came back to Ohio State, you'd be back to just sucking against them.
No,
he owned you.
Dude.
He owned you. He was your daddy.
He was.
He was your daddy.
No question.
And it does feel, the Ryan Day comment that Jim Harbaugh made, born on third, does feel a little true because he did inherit probably the best running program.
And
even
he's
Saban, when he went to Alabama, that
Right.
was not what it is now.
Right.
He walked into a fully functional national title contender.
Yeah.
And he hasn't beaten Michigan.
Well, he hasn't beaten Michigan, but he's beaten everybody else. It's not like he hasn't done the job.
Oh, look, you don't want to start. No,
Wait,
just
No, I like Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he beaten everybody else?
Pretty much. Like, look at his record. He's lost twice to Michigan, maybe one here or there in the regular season, and then once to Georgia.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, he's done a terrific job. I
But
think.
Urban Meyer coming back would ruin you.
Listen, let me just say this. And I have, I'm not telling any tales out of school because I say it in front of any live microphone. I got to meet Urban Meyer when he did the draft with us on NFL Network. Couldn't have been cooler. Couldn't have been nicer.
Did he try to finger your butt?
He did not.
Okay.
Because we were on television the
Yeah,
whole time.
right.
So
Doesn't stop him. Knowing that there's cameras
it was in
around.
Chicago. It was great. Plus, that's probably illegal in parts of Illinois. I don't know.
Putting fingers up butts?
Who knows? Long story short is he could not have been nicer, cooler. We exchanged phone numbers. He came on my show a couple times. And so that said, what he did in Jacksonville is truly the worst, biggest, most monumental flameout in the history of coaching. There's no other. I mean,
he's a college coach.
You gotta put it up there and say that
He's a college coach.
he had the golden ticket. He had an owner who's all in. He had an owner who's all in with an 8-figure annual check, and Trevor Lawrence totally blew it. Absolutely and completely blew it. So I guess if he comes back to campus and lays down the urban law, then that would work again, I guess. But
it would.
Bring it.
It would.
Bring it.
But
I love
it would.
Michigan's also in a much better place. Much better place. So you've got a great roster.
Jim Harbaugh goes somewhere else.
So if he does, then he does. But as of right now, again, I view in realities and alternatives. The alternative was the first 5 years or 7 years of him with Urban, and then what we got now, which is a much better team and a much more enjoyable team that's tougher to beat in bigger spots, who have now beaten Ohio State twice in a row. And it's the greatest thing. I'm loving it.
I love the way that, we're Harbaugh guys, and I love the way that you guys, not just the beating Ohio State, but the way you have done it.
So do you root for Michigan when they
I
play
root
Ohio
for
State?
Jim Harbaugh.
Do you root
Personally.
for Michigan? When you're watching the game, and I'm sure
I root for my bet. I bet
I was
Michigan
about
the
to say,
last
I'm sure
two-
you've got
two times.
something
Yeah.
on it.
No, I
Okay.
bet Michigan 2 years ago when they
Okay.
shocked the world, and I
Right.
bet them again this year.
So there is video of you celebrating a Michigan win.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Because I bet on Michigan.
Can I see that? Can I
I'm sure we can find it.
get it?
Yeah, and
I
then I
would love
immediately
that.
regret it when Dave goes on his
I'll make it my ringtone.
I mean, how can you not root for Jim Harbaugh against Ohio State? Especially
I'm with you.
when he was trying to win that game for the first time, and the way that they did it, they just played like man football. We're gonna run the ball down your throat.
Yes,
It's the
keep
best.
doing it.
It was
It's the
cool.
best.
It was very cool to watch.
And keep doing it. And then everybody thought it was an outlier, a one-off. They're not going to go into the horseshoe and do it
They did it.
worse, and they did it.
Yeah. Well, the weather favored Michigan.
What's the weather? What are you talking about?
God's a Michigan man,
It
was
snowed.
bad weather.
Excuse me. It snowed the first year.
Uh-huh.
The second year it didn't snow.
but it was bad weather.
so
It was,
what?
It was cold. That's
So
Michigan.
what?
that's
All I
Michigan
hear is
weather.
how
I actually
great their
think it was
line play
perfect.
is, and how
Yeah,
great
I think
their
it was sunny and beautiful.
yeah. I don't. It
Windy? No, it
it
was
was
windy.
actually really good.
No, it was
like-
windy.
It
Were
was
you
like
there?
a beautiful
I was not.
November day.
I was
Okay, yeah,
not.
I was actually there. It was cold as shit, and it was windy.
Good one.
It
I
was.
like it.
So if Urban Meyer did go back to Ohio State, I feel like he wouldn't have that same pull that he had when he left. Like the shine is a little bit off.
But why would they go in that direction?
Because they want to
They
beat
like to win
Michigan.
football
You'd
games.
cry yourself to sleep if he went back to
I would
Ohio
not.
State. Yeah, you would.
I'd cry laughing.
No. Oh.
I would
and now I'm
cry
rooting for this.
laughing.
Now I'm rooting.
I would
for
cry
You're asking for it,
laughing.
Rich.
Yeah, you
really?
are.
Yeah.
Him
You're
coming
asking
back.
for it.
You're asking
I'm asking
for
for
it.
nothing.
You're asking for it right now.
I'm not
Yeah,
asking
when this
for
happens,
anything.
we're gonna replay
I
this.
will be happy.
You want it, and it's a
I
bad
would
idea.
love it. I
No.
would love it. He's shot.
Shot.
Wow.
He's shot.
No, I don't think so.
Come
I
on.
think college coach. He coached
I
college.
guess an 18-year-old that would be the top recruit to come play for him would love to be thoroughly dominated by him. The transfer portal wouldn't be anything that anyone would go run off to. You think Urban would be able to coach in the transfer portal era where somebody's basically like, I don't like the way you've treated me. You told me I can start. I'm not starting. I'm out. You think he'd be able to be successful?
Yes, because
Okay.
the reverse
Awesome.
is he talks to all the guys who are trying to transfer somewhere else, and he
Okay.
says, "Hey, come
Sure,
here and you'll
come
get
here.
drafted."
Sounds good.
Yeah.
His way or the highway, and as you know,
And you'll get drafted.
there's now a highway.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
now a highway.
Yeah.
I want to see him go to Notre Dame.
By the way,
I
Michigan,
think that would be very funny.
Michigan had more draftees than Ohio State this time.
There you
around.
go.
Again, I might add. So let's just call it what it is, which is now a Michigan conference, which is it.
This is. I knew we'd get this out of him.
Which
and
it is. Excuse me.
This is right when the interview's got to end.
Back-to-back seasons, going to Indianapolis and winning that game.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I apologize.
So,
to
and
start
I
the
thought
show.
you would at least show up in either one of them, with that conference being the gimme end of the conference.
Wisconsin
that
is
division.
It's been the worst 4 years in 30 years. I mean, you know what that's like.
But it's coming.
Brady Hoke, Rich Rod, you know what it's like.
Nice.
So you know how bad
Nice.
it was.
It's
Is
true.
Michigan a dynasty because they've reached the college football playoff?
No, they're not a dynasty yet. They're
you
not a
had to
dynasty.
beat TCU.
That one hurt. I took my son, my youngest son, to the game. It sucked.
Can I confess something?
Sure.
I absolutely tuned into your show the next day.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I loved watching that. I was
The
like,
tears?
I can't wait.
You
to
wanna see the
Rich,
tears?
Rich talk about this.
Is that
It's
the
gonna
only
be
time
great.
you tune into Roku?
No,
Is that
listen.
it?
I specifically remember being like, Rich Eisen. I mean, this is what
is
what
it.
people do to us when our teams lose.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to listen.
I love it.
Yeah.
I will take it. I obviously wear it on my sleeve. I love the school. That said, I do believe Wisconsin will win that.
We're building a bully.
Well, I mean, you're in the easy side of the Big Ten.
Well, we don't know what it's going to look like in a couple of years.
Well, you know they're going to stick USC in Michigan's division. You know that.
possibly.
Listen,
Maybe you take USC. We'll take Indiana.
you can take UCLA and we'll take USC
That
because
would
that's
be
what they're
awesome.
going to do.
That would
Because
be
Michigan has to play the toughest teams in the Big Ten every year.
Yeah, like
That's the way it is
Rutgers,
set up.
Maryland. I
Excuse
agree.
me. Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get Wisconsin 2 out of every 3. Then they'll throw in USC's
Nebraska.
coming. Nebraska. I know. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that
coming.
was really mean how you just said Nebraska.
I know that. Well, my
like you
presence
patted him
here
on
is
the
only
head.
going to serve to piss off Compton anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I had one last question. It's a Roback question.
Yeah.
RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, shorts. I'm wearing a T-shirt right now. Roback.
Look at you.
The most comfortable clothes in the world. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE. What is your beef with those guys?
I don't have a beef with them.
Okay. So
There's
they're
no
just
beef.
playing it
it's
up?
beefless. It's beefless. Lawan came on my show. When was the Tennessee draft? The Nashville draft. I think it was 2018, 2019. So he comes on my show and he says, I'm starting a podcast. I'm like, really? What's it called? He called Bussin' with the Boys, and we're going to do it in a bus. And I'd love for you to come on. I'm like,
Genius idea.
I'm like, great idea. Congratulations. I
in the
love
back of
Taylor
the car.
Lewan. We're
Yeah.
Michigan men. I love him. I think he's incredibly talented, wonderful guy. So I'm like, I'll come on anytime. He goes, great. When are you going to come to Tennessee? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm here. Like, you want to do it now? Well, we don't have the bus yet. Okay. So
Wait.
when are you coming to Los Angeles in the bus? He goes, oh, the bus is just the shell of the bus. There's no motor in the bus. I'm like, so you're doing a podcast on a bus that does not move.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of the bus? And he goes, it's just a cool bus. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I am not coming on your podcast until you get a motor in that thing.
But he invited you onto the bus, and not only does the bus not move, but then he said, we actually don't have the bus yet.
Correct.
Okay, so it's
a hypothetical
these
bus.
are all
in his wildest dreams, he wants to be the owner of a bus that doesn't move.
right. And at the time, hosting a podcast in it that had yet to launch and invited me to come on it.
Okay.
So I just thought it was totally asinine, and I
Yeah.
made a stand on the spot that to this day he still doesn't have a motor. And then I see he does his show various other places with Compton.
Yeah.
And so even those, like at the Super Bowl, I'm like, I'll do it. Well, we think, it would be best if you do it on the bus.
On the bus.
I'm like, when am I going to be in Nashville? I don't know. Last summer, I attempted to even fly in for the day. Luan couldn't do it. He was in training camp.
You need to do that. You need to fly in when you know they're not there and just take a picture in front of the bus.
I would love to
and
do
just
that.
Be like, I'm here.
See ya. Like, where are you guys? I'm ready. So that's not a bad idea, by the way.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, they've decided to post a photograph of me every single day. Their guy Jack, if he continues to do it all the way up until me actually appearing on the bus, he gets his Chevy Silverado.
Oh, wow.
So he is now up to day 3 something or other. And it's funny, he'll post photographs. I'll be like, when did I do that?
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird and wild. And then some are highly unflattering. I understand what they're attempting to do. I'm a man of principle. I've attempted twice now to bend that principle and still appear. Like, also, I see him didn't they take the bus to Nebraska? Didn't they tow it?
Yeah.
So you're halfway there. Tow it all the way to Los
just get
Angeles.
all the way
I'm
there.
in.
Yeah.
I'll do the whole hour. I'll do whatever they do.
I love that they tow the bus.
They towed the bus.
Tow the bus.
I'm like, they still like,
Podcast.
and the amount of money, I'm sure the revenue they're bringing in, they could have put the greatest motor in the history of motor vehicles underneath that hood and actually driven it around and shown up to places.
All right, now that you
know what I
explained
mean?
it, that's a fair side on your point.
Yeah, I have no beef with them at all. I like them.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is great. But if people think I have a beef, and plus if they want to keep sending out photographs of me,
It's good for
keep
you.
spelling my name right.
Yeah, the Rich Eisen business.
Come on
They're
now,
in
man. It's a brand.
They are your
It's a brand,
PR team.
man.
They didn't even realize
They
it.
had no idea.
They're completely
Free
owning
media.
themselves.
Haters are your marketing team.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I'm in.
Facts.
We should name our studio in Chicago the Bus, and
Yeah.
then we just invite
And you can
people.
you'll be our first
you wanna
guest.
come on? You want to come in the bus?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll fly you out.
Chicago's easier to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, invariably we'll have a reason to be there.
Yeah. You're in.
Nashville, I haven't done a Titans game in forever. If I do, I'm there. Happy to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
All right. Well, Rich, awesome to catch up.
great. Thanks
Congrats
for having
on
me.
everything.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate and when you come to Chicago, you got to come to the new office.
Done.
And have it all set up.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait, guys.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's
I'm
going to
in.
be great.
When are you going?
We're going to have you in the bus.
When are you?
The new office is
going?
going to open September
Oh,
for
football
football
season.
season. Yep. So
Okay.
be ready to go.
I'm moving there on Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening.
You don't have any personal life, do you? You just pick up and go.
I've got. I get laid, Rich. Okay,
He's-
if that's
he's
what you're
got-
asking.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
He's
You're
actually
on my app.
He's taking the train. He's just hopping on a free train.
Okay.
With his little sack.
My bindle
He's just
sack.
gonna get out there.
No, I've got a house with a roof and everything.
No, I'm sure you. I'm not saying you're indigent.
Kind of said that I was homeless.
gonna be
That's-
huge.
No, I didn't. I
Yeah.
just said personal life. Like you could just. Oh, sure. You're moving from New York to Chicago. I'll go. I got it.
Basically, when we started doing this show,
Yes.
Big Cat was like, I don't want my kids when I have them. They were just twinkles in his eye at
Yes.
this point. I don't want my future children to have to jump around schools.
Yeah.
So New York was never in the plan for the long term.
So you're doing this for the little cats, is what you're saying?
Well, it
Well,
was part of it, yeah. But
Also,
it's,
just getting out of New York is going to be nice.
and we've always wanted to have a fun factory. We've always wanted to have the big warehouse to be able to live all
like
of our
Pat's
dreams.
Thunderdome or something like that?
Well, we've been thinking about it for a while too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
All
more like Rob Dyrdek. Rob
Okay.
Dyrdek was the original fun factory.
Okay.
But
Very
yeah,
good.
we've always wanted that. Pretty tough to do and to find 40,000 square feet
Here.
in New York City.
So you're going to be somewhere in Chicagoland?
Yeah.
You're not. You're
No,
not gonna
in
do-
Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah. So it's going to be great. We're very excited for the
Fantastic.
future. Yeah.
I love that city.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
And you're
love
invited
it.
to the bus.
I can't
be
wait.
fucking great.
Well, congrats, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
You got it.
Rich Eisen was brought to you by Omaha Steaks, baby. It's steak season.
Yes.
Love it. Absolutely love Omaha Steaks. I can't wait to get my package of Omaha Steaks. I got a nice little rooftop grill set up. I'm going to be cooking Omaha Steaks all summer long. With Father's Day right around the corner, the Father's Day experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to put a big smile on the big guy's face this summer with hand-selected packages. Packages can include fork tender, bacon-wrapped filet mignons, or other gourmet grillables. You got the air-chilled boneless chicken breasts, burgers, jumbo franks, many more favorites. Their burgers are actually delicious. I love Omaha Steak Burgers. Don't forget to save room for dessert. Most gift packages come with 4 delicious caramel apple tartlets. I'm getting hungry talking about it. And with Omaha Steaks, you're giving a gift of the world's best beef. Their steaks are naturally aged for ultimate tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Omaha Steaks is 5 generations of family-owned expertise. That means uncompromising quality that you can trust. This Father's Day, show him the love with the only gift that's unforgettable as he is, the mouth-watering perfection of Omaha Steaks. Check out Omaha Steaks, and you know that we're going to have a great deal for you. If you order today, you get $30 off with promo code PMT, and every purchase is backed by their unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. Minimum order may be required. See the site for details, but use promo code PMT. Get $30 off. $30 off, promo code PMT.
Okay, I better be getting some Omaha Steaks for Father's Day. Great show, everyone. Great show. Should we do some numbers?
Yeah.
But I haven't said it yet. What was that? What was the article that was sent to you?
It was about breast milk. Bodybuilders chugging breast milk.
Numbers.
69.
I got it.
That was Hank.
18.
That was Hank.
Yeah.
That was Hank.
Good job, Hank.
Easy. That was Hank.
Can we check the sound levels?
Oh,
Yeah,
it
sure.
was a
No
million-
problem. It was
You
one-
were. It was Hank first, me second, you third.
Yeah. It wasn't. Hank had that easy.
I can see it.
Yeah. Go check. Billy, what is your number?
21.
Okay.
99.
Also, I got a 1 on 8 today, and 18's already my number, so it's
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
crazy.
That is
Yeah.
wild. I'll go with 17. Max?
20.
Imagine if this is 69. What? What, Billy?
It doesn't even matter.
Oh,
No,
it
it
doesn't?
doesn't. No, you're not mad at all.
There's no money anymore.
You're not mad.
88.
Ah. Pool's 88.
Okay.
Love you guys.
88. Better be quicker now, Billy.
Baby owls may be mistaken for aliens.
Yeah, but
In the
morons.
dark.
Yeah.
Have you ever
idiots.
seen what a baby owl looks like?
Wait, you said in the dark
Yeah.
when you can't see.
There's a whole story
So just
about...
2 eyes might be mistaken as
Dude,
aliens.
just look up baby owls.
Okay, I'm going to look it up right now.
Baby owls.
Baby owls. Owlets?
Baby owls.
Baby owls. Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture where they do look like aliens. Billy's right.
Oh, okay. The one where they're just standing?
Yeah.
But is that in the dark?
So, like, imagine seeing that in the dark.
Well, you wouldn't
couldn't
be
see
able
in the
to
dark.
because it would be the dark.
But just think about it.
So there's one picture that looks like aliens.
No, there's a good amount.
Okay.
There's like a whole historical record about people
Baby
think they were
owls looking
attacked
like
by
aliens?
aliens, but then the next morning they saw they were barn owls.
Ah,
Okay.
historical record.
Still going to say morons.
Yeah.
Do you think you could fight one?
Yeah, I'd fucking smash a baby owl. I'd smash
That's
a
a
real
crime.
owl.
That's a crime.
A real owl?
That's a crime against
Give me the best. What's the baddest owl out there?
great horned owl.
Fucking kick that thing to the moon.
Yeah, listen.
dead.
Any bird.
Dead.
I will kill any bird. Even
Falcon?
there are a lot of
Hawk?
There are a lot of people that are trying to ask me about pterodactyls. That's not a bird, first of all.
No.
Secondly, they don't exist.
Dude,
kill a bald eagle?
I've been watching
Yeah.
Ice Age.
Crime.
Easily.
I've been watching Ice Age with my kids. Woolly mammoth. I would fucking murder them. Easy.
An ostrich.
Easy, Billy.
If you give
So
me,
easy.
you put an ostrich in front of me, I'd tie its neck into a knot.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, choke it out.
Grit week. I hope we run across some animals.
Great.
We'll kill all of them.